Yo. Hey. Welcome to the nurse's station. That's such a fun music video. I love that one. It's a great one. Yes, I did like my own video. Of course I did. I love that one. Welcome to the nurse's station. Let me get my stuff right. What's up, everybody? Ooh, spicy, good. Always love it. All right. Now we could bring the jazz back. There we go. Pull that down a little bit. What's up, everybody? It's Nurse here. It's Sunday. It's the last Sunday of the year. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I hope everybody is warm at home with family, doing stuff they like, enjoying their time with family, or alone, whatever, but preferably with family. The best Christmas wishes from me to you. I really mean that. It's chilly here, so I got the sniffles. I'll do my best to try to not make that the most annoying thing for everybody. I'll do my best to mute it. But if that's gonna be as annoying, then I'll stop. So last week was just sort of a free week. Did a lot of this. A lot of Google Earth. And I'm going to tell y'all right now. I'm going to tell you about something you probably didn't know about. Have you ever heard of the Great Wall of Africa? I'm probably going to put all these in a separate project because I'm really not sure what to make of it. But I'm currently on the 21st segment. And that's going to be just, let's see which one. That's only this yellow one up here. Pretty big. Pretty sizable 84-mile chunk. That's one. Then we got 46. Let's see if I have a calculator on this thing. Do I have a calculator? Oh, the dog. Oh, I don't have a calculator. Let's just pull the phone up then. Can I just go up with my finger? I can't. Okay, so we have 84 there. I'm kind of fascinated by this. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you guys some really good examples. I'm just going to kind of show you the outline for now. So those two segments right there are going to give us a good chunk of 130. And let's just keep adding. We're going to call that 50 for conservative measurements. We'll call that a 90. Plus the 130, plus the 45. Oh, you guys can't see that because my face is in the way. I'm sorry. Alright, there we go. That's better. 45. Yeah, you're like, oh, where's all these measurements going? 45 miles, 50 miles. Which segment is this? That's this one right here. They share some pretty nice borders. This one's actually a short segment. Comparatively, 50 miles plus, and this is just today, this is just what we found today, plus a 111-mile stretch. For context, that looks like this. Which one's the 50? I don't know how this one's longer. Oh, it stretches down way further. Okay, it's actually this far. Got it. Oh, wow, Yeah, no, that is 100 and some miles. And then we found this one, 182 mile segment. So it doubles over itself, actually. We'll follow a chunk of these, and I'm sure we'll find some more, because I did not expect to find 7 segments today. Plus 182, so we're looking at about 660 miles of this thing I found today. So that's sort of what I've been working on, and that's where we were last week at the very end when we were ranting off into the abyss. I think I was drawing out this portion way down here. And over the week, I think I've realized that, these borders might have something to do with this. And then I found this one. It's like, oh, I didn't really expect maybe, I didn't expect the most out of this one. But wait till we follow it. Wait till we follow it. I'm going to try to keep in mind that what you can see is over in this area. You say, what is the Great Wall of Africa? What are you talking about? I've never heard of this thing. This thing doesn't exist. It's not a thing. I can't fault you for that. We're going to be following these lines. We're going to be following these little breadcrumbs of these types of structures, where we're going to see a little bit less even evidence of habitation. So we're going to be following things like this for hundreds of miles. We're going to be following this for hundreds of miles. And I'm gonna try to be as conservative as I can when picking what I choose as, the Great Wall of Africa, because I'm not trying to gin up some hysteria here, but I am also trying to make sense of some of these structures that we're going to see that look an awful lot like this. Now, the reason that I'm going to be bringing up structures like this are because we can go to India and we're going to see a lot of forts. If we do go to India, we're going to see a lot of forts with these little sort of tower, wall, bastion, Ravelin-esque. I don't know the term for it. I'm not a war guy. I'm just a nurse. So we're going to follow those. And that's what we're going to be trying to add, right? We're going to see a lot of mixes between definitely being used, definitely in use, versus ones that are going to be completely derelict in other portions of the wall. And so that's what I'm going to be trying to explain to you and trying to sort of follow. Because I've never heard of the Great Wall of Africa. So that's a long segment. It does double over and it snakes on itself. The one that really got me, though, today was... oh, boy. I want to say it was this one. I want to say it was this right around here. Yeah. Okay. So we followed the one that I just gave you a little example of up, and we see all these jagged lines, and we see a lot of these sort of dugouts, almost like, like supporting columns would have been near a structure if there was one. It's pretty thin. It's like, okay, well, it's like a bulldozer did that for miles and miles. Okay, yeah, okay. Maybe. I'm just looking at it. And the only reason that I'm hesitant to call it anything other, we're just following these. I didn't even track that one because, as you'll see here shortly, this thing just goes and goes. And one thing you might notice is it kind of has remnants into the land away from the wall. There's nothing being used here. And one's going to have to wonder then, What is the difference then between the materials on the ground for some of the ones without those? And we're going to find stuff out here. We're going to start to see that this wall shape is building massive, massive indentations in this desert. And when we zoom out for perspective here, this is nothing. Sorry for the whiplashy scrolling and zooming and all the blue, because I'm obsessed with these things. So that's just for perspective. We're just in we're by Tindouf is the nearest town. Tindouf, Algeria? Algeria. This whole desert palette here. Okay, it's oil. You say it might be oil. They're using it for oil. Let's zoom in on... I don't see any towers. I'll show you ones with towers. We're going to run into them. I promise you, we're going to run into them. So we're just looking through the desert. We're not getting these, these organic water underlying veins. We're not going to get those mixed up, because that could easily just be, that I believe is nature. That I'm going to say is nature. I'm going to say stuff like this that we're going to find, though, is strange. And that's the only thing I'm going to say it is strange. I'm going to call it the Great Wall of Africa, and I'm going to say it's strange. Because I think it is. This is supposed to be a Bible study stream, though. But if Jesus lived in Africa, I want to know when this stuff was dug, when it was excavated. I want to know who's coordinating all these things. Algeria having a lot of setups around this one, like this giant wall stint here on the blue side, the one that sort of mirrors the country's borders a little bit more accurately. We're going to go all the way up to the tippy top. I thought the wall with the zigzags was crazy. You're going to say, why did you just put the blue all the way up to there? Because I followed these on the parallel wall structure. I noticed that there wasn't only zigzags on the blue way down here by all the infrastructure or whatever. Of course, you've got infrastructure around these parts, and definitely looks to be something established. These squares. It's these larger things that I just don't know what the hell they are. So I started following some of these little outcroppings like this one. Crazy, because this is the part they're using. That's the part that looks like it's got stuff on it. If anything, which is fine. I'm cool with that. This is the part that I'm confused about. This giant fanning part. This part here, confused about. Because let's be frank, Africa can't coordinate between its own little tribes, let alone between its countries. So I'm not going to assume that Morocco and Algeria just have the best of relations enough to be able to make a structure almost exactly the same on the opposite side. Now Algeria's is a little bit more built up. Oh god, that's bright. I don't like that. We're going to be seeing a lot more of stuff like this on the western side. Now the western side's interesting because it does just go all the way to the ocean. You've just got things. This might be a fence. This might be a real human fence right here on this one. Kind of looks thin. Could be wall though. I don't know. This shit is absolutely just built into sand. This is just stone structure. This is just desert structure. Not just one of them. This one's not even connected to the road. I don't even see like heavy tire marks, heavy tire tracks. It's not even connected to the road. No heavy tire marks, heavy tire tracks. If anything, you could say the tire marks and the tire tracks or the treadings would be like from cows and carts. We're not talking about an industrious road building society here, clearly. So we're going to be seeing a lot of these. That's why I call it the Great Wall of Africa, because, man, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And I have absolutely no idea what it is. So today alone, we have found 660 miles of this thing in minute segments. Minute. One of the theories that I had going here for a little bit was when I only had this much, I was like, oh my gosh, what if we're getting towards like, actually, no, hold on. I was thinking maybe we were kind of getting into, maybe it's like an octagon, maybe it was like a trapezoid, I don't know. It would still have to go down further. Maybe it did. I don't know. But it did sort of, it was strange because it's so straight. The lines are so straight. You can follow the borders and you just say like, oh, well, I don't believe you. It's too convenient. Yeah, it's a little fucking convenient, mate. A little fucking too convenient. So we start following this one. All the way up, we're going to see structures like the ones on the Morocco side. Because we are on the Morocco side. Okay. And then we're going to follow these. Here, a good example of what might be used. There's got a circle in the middle. You could say, oh, that's a helipad. We're going to see those. But the only reason I wonder about stuff like this is because we don't see those. We're going to be following this double line here. That's going to be the hallmark. I'm looking for those. And I'm going to be looking very closely. I mean very closely. I'm not just trying to assume that this is it. But I am going to be following structures. I'm going to be following landmarks. I'm going to be following patterns. But most importantly, I'm going to be trying to be conservative at best, to not lump things in that don't look like this. This would fall in the category of one of those outcroppings like we saw on the Morocco side, where it's dug in, stuff like this. And the only reason I'm keeping it to a straight line here is to make it simple. And so you can just plop that down all the way. Now you might see these lines here and say, oh, okay, now we're starting to get into some civilization, some inhabitable stuff. Let's test that. Let's just test that. This looks like it might have been bulldozed over, sort of flattened, leveled, raised a little bit for something to go there. Maybe, possibly, probably. Notice how we didn't count any of this? Because this looks like it could be actual plans for some roads. You do see what could be more like tire marks here. We do see a little bit of some double road there. Who knows? If we follow this far enough, we might discover a new segment. You and me, live. On the last Sunday. Here we go. Here we go already. I always say this when I find new parts of this. I'm just like, I pray that I'm wrong about this. I'm starting to hope I'm wrong about this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see the pattern that we're starting to get here? We're starting to see a lot of these zigzags here. It's at the top of the mountain, so it's good. It's preserved. I'm gonna follow stuff like this a little bit, because these squares are more than just squares in some cases. Wouldn't that be absolutely fucking something if the whole desert was just a nuked strip strip mall or some shit. You see what I mean? We follow those squares and look where we go. Look what we get. Look what we get. More and more. More and more of the same. You see these really large bricks every almost so often. You start to say again, wow, that's crazy. Notice how we didn't put any of this on there. None of that. None of that. We didn't even get close to that. Just try to stick to the line and just, you can venture off for 20 seconds and look what you find. Stick to the line. Whatever. Just scroll down on the earth a little bit more. We're going to see more structures. Is this a helipad? No. Do Arabs use H's for helipads? Do they have that? Is that an H? I like stuff like this because it's like, oh, in America we might just say, though, that's a wind farm. That would be a really good repurposing of whatever the fuck this actually is, if it wasn't just these roofless stone walls formed in beautiful squares in the desert with no one around. But somehow you have these battery-like cisterns. It's immaculate. It's what we're finding. Actually, no, what I'm finding. Ain't no we yet. No one's in that comment section. You got to get in there, be a part of this live discovery. Kind of live. See how I'm not counting this, though? Because you know what this looks like? This looks like road. This looks like road. Maybe water. I don't care. Fucking no. Do you see how I'm starting to get even a little bit like bitey about it? Because I'm trying to, even in my own mind, justify why it can't be what it is. Because I'm trying to get ready for everything anyone can say. But at the same time, I'm trying to be as open as I possibly can. I'm way too open about this, actually. I look forward to being wrong about this. But it's not helpful when you find this and then another 45 miles of wall in a part of Africa that, let's just say there's not a McDonald's close. It's like, oh, okay, it could be oil. Could be oil. Maybe. Could be oil. So what are we looking at here? Sorry if the dog barks, that might be loud. Okay, so why did we follow it all the way up here? What's so great about following this thing? Why do you even care? Again, we find more of this insultingly stupid levels of built up infrastructure into nothing. So these are like castle walls. Like if you're gonna use it, you're gonna use it for something. But like I don't. This is immaculate. This is beautiful. They don't need to build all this for just useless oil structures and oil derricks that might be used. Like we might build them with plastic or something here. Do you see what I'm starting to say though? This is strange. This, stuff like this. I don't know what these little 6 white or 6 black dots are right here. I have no idea. But I've just uncovered miles, hundreds of miles of this. And it doesn't stop. So then what did I do up here? How did I figure out that this was, okay, so again, we followed the pattern. 2 lines, square outcroppings. Again, if there's like a truck here in America, if we see this in America and there's like a truck there in Arizona or whatever, oh, well, it's just, it's like, that's what they use it for. And then we see these squares again. It's like a whole nuked past Africa is. Just keep following that line. You keep following those structures. I think one of the hallmarks of this section here are these secondary buildings that I'm going to be following. because we do go deeper into the desert. Like actually physically the altitude does go lower. Google Earth is actually good about that. It does give us an altitude if we want to look at that. So just for out of curiosity's sake, am I allowed to click my own? Okay, slope estimate, elevation estimate, minimum 986 feet. Okay, so where are we? Excuse me. Alright, so we're like kind of halfway-ish there. Oh, wait, we're way lower over here. Okay, well, it's probably just valleys and then like wind or something. I'm not a desert expert, I don't know. You can see all these lines and stuff in between the two mountain ranges. Again, it's built up. It's something. It's cool. You can just keep following it, and it's just going to keep looking like what you'd expect it to look like. With just stuff. Okay. Perfect example. Boom. Here we go. Here we go. This is a good example of what they did and what they do. This is what we do currently. We spray paint. We put up these large towers. This is an antenna type structure here. Why did you build these just giant bricks? Were you just that into it? Were you that into it for hundreds of miles between countries? You notice how these ones here are outlined in white? But when we go to the other sections, there weren't. So it's like if it is oil, should there be is there no standard? Is there a standard here? Like maybe that's like, oh, that's where the good tanks are or something. We're gonna see the same stuff here. Okay, so we got some what's white here. All right, we're getting somewhere. So what we're going to keep doing is we're going to keep comparing stuff like that. We're going to go further, we're going to go back, we're going to go further, we're going to go back. Different parts, different sections, different countries, we're going to notice different things. And every single time it's going to make me ask more questions, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. And I'm going to keep phrasing them and framing them in ways that I find them. And I hope one day someone engages with this and maybe has interest or capital or just some means of like actually exploring this safely. You see how we're not counting any of that stuff? Because it just looks like they're following just traditional paths. Maybe just they were going out there to survey for parts or whatever that they could shove holes in and get some oil out. You're just going to see more and more of this weird mix of holy shit, that's so ancient, and they were there yesterday. And it's going to be nothing consistent between them. We're going to see little lines like that darting away. I have no idea what that one is. Drink your coconut milk, everybody. Is good for you. You say maybe they keep stuff up high so it doesn't flood out. Okay. Let's keep that in mind. Let's try to beat our own straw man. Oh my gosh, is this Christmas? Yeah, it was. Sweet. This little Jazz is playing some Christmas shit. Christmas, New Year stuff. It might have been happy birthday too. Is Happy New Year a song? Did I just make that shit up? Okay, so this one says K7 again. Or did the other one say K8? This one says K8. Interesting. Where the fuck was K7? Jebel Tazut. So this is K7. So they are aware of this here. It is labeled. Wow, that's crazy. All right, so I don't actually know where I stopped. See, I'm not going to call any of these tire tracks. I'm not going to call any of this industrialized. What is with these perfect circle cutout cisterns? What is with those? What is with there being little fortresses for so many miles? I think we see some writing here. Yeah. So I'm not saying that they're unaware of this in some parts. Actually, I think they're too aware of it in some parts. I think that they've repurposed it in some parts. So let's keep following it and following it. Again, the hallmark of this section here are the 2 lines for the canal here that we're following. Because I'm gonna even call this part man-made. I'll even agree to that. I think the part that's skeptical is this higher part up here, where it's gonna pop out. Just if some giant goes and blows all the sand off the desert, what would you find? A lot of bushes. These are going to be another hallmark here that we're going to start to see the more eastward we go. These little buildings. I'm willing to grant that the buildings are built. It's the same song over and over again, actually. That's not bad. I'm not willing to grant that the zigzags are necessary for oil. I'm not willing to grant that. I'm not willing to grant that carving into the desert, these random things that have no connection. Maybe you don't need heavy machinery. Maybe you don't. I'm gonna levy a guess and say you do. Because we're seeing more of these out here. No tire tracks up to the mountain, so it's old. Willing to grant stuff by this road, or what looks to be new road, is new. Willing to grant it. Not willing to grant that this is new. Not willing to grant that this is for oil. Not willing to grant that this is for oil at all. Again, they're aware of it. You see the difference here? Do you see? This is perfect, actually. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what we can do. This is not. This is etched so deep into the history of this continent. This is not. This is piled on. This is what's thrown on, okay? This is what's dug in. This is what's etched in history, into the mountain ranges and the annals of this desert. I'm not willing to grant that this wall back here is new construction. I'm not willing to grant that that is for anything current or modern. Not willing to. So that was K6. Not willing to grant these outcroppings are for things that modern day people use. Not willing to. Not for the sake of this discussion. Not for the Great Wall of Africa. See more of this. More of the boxes on top. Not willing to grant that this is currently being used. What is this? I'm willing to grant stuff like, even though this is really a stretch for me, like I'm willing to grant that this is being used because it's by tires. I'm not willing to grant, I think we might even have like a section here that's pretty honest. I'm willing to grant that section. Not willing to grant this. What, like, who on earth builds this and thinks, I'm gonna live and dwell here? It's not even the location, it's the shape. And then it's the exact same kind of stuff when you go down these, like, triangle mountains in Italy, where it's like these just, you know, fucking this, you know, Lombard Street type stuff. There's more wall. Huge. I'm not willing to grant that that is new. You can't tell me that that's a dam. For fucking what? For what water? This stuff. And you notice how it's right all on the border too? So that's really convenient for us because we can follow it. Willing to grant some of these. I don't know how big. I don't know how big a truck is. I don't know how big a tire is. I don't even know how big. 10 feet. How big's a road? How wide is a road? Is a road lane. Lane width. $12 feet. Okay. Sweet. That checks out. We got 11 feet. All right. Question. If these are the tire tracks, how they fit? So I'm not willing to grant all of them. I'm not willing to grant the perfection of the squares. I'm not willing to. See how I flip-flop back and forth based on, like, why do you need this? What is that? For what? And I think that this is, I really do, I think this is something that's, I like to say that I'm a part of the mud flood community. I like Old Earth and Tartaria, star forts and whatever. I think the Great Wall of Africa might just be one we totally missed, guys. No idea what to even say. Again, for perspective, we're just going to zoom out. We're only up by this little crook. We've made it this far in that long of a time period. It's been maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes. And it's just been talking to try to sort of justify, rationalize, understand this stuff. You're going to start to see patterns as well. You see how this goes boop, boop, boop. Okay, well, then we also see boop, boop, with the mountain range. It's really cool. I'm just throwing the ball down. We're gonna go zoom out here just real quick, just for shits and giggles. So what I'm doing here, this is how my eyes are working for this. I'm not seeing any double line structures. I'm not seeing any squares. I'm looking on these mountain tops here. I bet if we dig deep enough, we could probably start to find stuff like that. We're going to grant that this is just natural water. I'm not willing to jump that this is, you know, Great Wall of Africa ditches like the ones we were just looking at with the zigzags. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to stay away from the mic too because I know that's popping. Okay, see, I'm not willing to grant that there's any sections there, but I am going to look over here. What is this? Looks like modern road. Keep that in the back of your mind. Looks like modern road. So we're not willing to grant that is old. We're gonna look at this though, and we're gonna start questioning stuff here pretty shortly. I bet we're gonna start seeing stuff that we don't like. I bet we're gonna start seeing stuff that doesn't sit exactly wholly well in our bellies. You got this ditch here. We're gonna start seeing stuff that really don't comport with shit here. We're going to be looking at this straight line of perfect circles. Man, the meteorites must have been dancing that day. Maybe it's like military. You're shooting hogs or something. I'm willing to grant that. Literally. What's over here? We see a double line. What is this? What is that? Why is that there? That actually does look like a dam. Okay. Dam or a bridge or an aqueduct or something, but it does follow. It does follow some sort of pattern here in the sand. A little bit of lightness, goes all the way down. Man, that's a really nicely shaped mountainside. I do like that. That's nice. See how I'm not still willing to grant it? But we're just gonna go a little bit further and say, we do tend to look at the bigger picture though. So we're not gonna make any leaps about the other canal. We're gonna just try to do our best to make leaps about the silly shit that I'm talking about. This, willing to grant it's new. Willing to grant it's new. See, I'm open. I'm open to this. I'm ready. I'm willing. I'm able. Let's find me some more stuff I'm not willing to grant. Keeping it followed, keeping it followed, keeping it close. Keeping it close. We're gonna look at this one. This got some starsport shape to it. I actually don't, I'm not, that one doesn't even look kosher to me. That one looks like they might have, we don't know yet on that one. We're gonna keep following that canal though. If it hurts your eyes, I'm not sorry at all. Okay, so I think we've entertained this for long enough. We're going to see pretty much civilization built upon all of it. We're not really getting too much. Let's look at this. What is this? What are we willing to grant? Not even sure on that one. Pretty cool shape. Not sure. What's that? Why is that? At some point you start wondering if it's tire tracks or if it's emerging stone from the sand. And I think that this is a good example of, I don't think that this circle here is tire tracks. I don't think that these squares here are just different sand. Maybe you could say, oh, they're trying to spell something. I don't know, guys. Maybe. This is a pretty big intersection. It's close to some industrialized stuff, so maybe, yeah. Not willing to entertain that as a section of the wall. Willing to maybe on stuff like that if we see anything close. If we see anything chilling around here, but I don't think we will. We are going to get some landmarks and some civilization, which is kind of nice. It really does. It feels like I've been actually in the desert this whole time. Oh, don't tell me this whole side of this little plateau is just going to be squares on the edges, right? Don't tell me that. No, it's not. But we're going to keep saying, we're going to keep asking that of these mountains. We're going to ask a lot of the mountains today. We're going to ask the mountains to prove us wrong. We're going to play crazy here at the end of 2025. We're going to play fast and loose with the rules. See how I'm not willing to, like, there's structures I'm not going to fucking throw in your face as a rabbit hole. Alright, so we're actually back to the wall. Alright. And I think this might be, no, never mind, I'm sorry, this is not where it ended. So you might say, why did you jump? Okay, I'll try to give my best explanation for that. And follow the double wall. Followed that all the way till these, where we find more just boxes with no roofs that people must live in and love to live in the deserts. Willing to grant that maybe these castle shapes are repurposed. This antenna looks new, but nothing with a shadow over like 10 feet, I'm gonna say is new. Never gonna grant that one. Not gonna grant that this is in use for anything. I think we're probably gonna make the leap that this is part of it. We didn't make too much of the leap to try to connect the middle bits, even though I know that basically what I'm doing here is just suggesting that there is some in between. And then there's actually a sizable portion here that's kind of unaccounted for. But we do end up picking up 7 miles later, and it's very distinguishable where we're able to pick up. We find these buildings again. They have really high standards for what they do tend to build, apparently. How standard is this? Boom to boom? Like 100 and some feet, okay? So we have to get out of that and go and see how big the other one is. 100 something feet. 111 feet. 111-ish. Okay, so they're all pretty standard, so that's good. They have a standardized something for some of this. By no means is it all standardized. By no means is this all for oil. By no means is this all modern. No way. No way. I'm not going to grant that. So that's good. We are getting close to some coast. And by saying close to the coast, I mean probably still hundreds of miles away from it. Keep following it. We're going to see these same structures, probably 100 and some feet. Very consistent. The ditch is, again, marvelous, to be completely honest with you. Marvelous. Yeah, truly. Wow. Yeah, no, the further you go in certain directions, you start to point other things out and you start to notice other things. Really tend to... they capture your imagination, but at the same time, they really do throw into question some silly stuff. These H's, helipads, cool. Why aren't they circles like the other ones? I'm gonna assume those are H's. And then again, the straw man would be to say like, oh, well, those aren't H's, those aren't helipads. I'm trying to give anybody, something in the, like I'm trying to provide for you the, I guess you really don't know that someone can tie your shoelaces together while you're not looking until they do. But that's sort of what this is. Are the circles the helipad landings? Are they standardized? Because we're not going to have the cake and eat it too here, I'm afraid. Because this is just too outlandish. It really is. These massive square blocks all through the desert. Got these nice little outcroppings here. Just the weirdest shapes too. Just like these oblong trapezoids and shit, but completely perfectly straight lines as well. Okay, this is north here. See another one of those buildings. Not connected really to anything. So we're, again, like I don't even grant that those are fully part of this, but I do always say that I'm going to start saying for myself, the eastern parts, that's definitely going to be a landmark I'm looking out for. I didn't draw anything up to here, but I know that that might actually be where I wanted to start. Oh, no, actually, we found stuff like this. Oh, but that's clearly they pushed all the dirt up to be... Clearly, we've done that. Willing to grant. I'm willing to. See, you thought I was gonna be a prick. You thought I was gonna be sharp. You thought I was gonna be sharp cheddar right there. You're wrong. I wasn't gonna be. Because I want to find where I've seen that exact same thing. And I'm not willing to grant that it is standardized. Where is it? Oh, was it around here or something? Because I went backwards. Not willing to grant that they needed to make that oblong shape. Oh, but they had to follow for the oil. Maybe. I don't fucking believe that. Any of that. We do have another one of those along the line, though. And I really want to find it. Oh, no, this was just the last one I found. This was the whole last segment I found before I started streaming. Okay. Okay, and then we basically gave up. This is where we gave up. Because I can't come to another mountainside and find that it is as well a built ass city or town. And this one kind of made me, feel like I could stop here because I don't see any. Thank goodness I don't see any of those crazy cisterns. I see stuff like this where maybe they do the shit where they have to push up on the sides to make it look like it's not completely just sticking out of the desert. We have this here, which again, tower, willing to grant as new. Not willing to grant that this fucking thing is new. No. So, how would I maybe pick up from here? Because we've been able to follow a pretty established path this whole way. And to what degree we know it's actually established right now is in question. We're going to just look for more. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to just look for more. All those landmarks, keep them in the back of your head. Those buildings, those square buildings, 111 feet square buildings, we're going to look for that. We're going to look for those to be, X amount of feet away. We're going to look for more really nice ditching. We're going to try to keep the borders in mind. See how we darted really far away from there. But it was for a reason. And why the fuck was that reason, actually? Oh, I probably just... Why did I do that? See, I want to go back and I want to make sure I didn't fuck this up. Because if I end up putting myself on the wrong path here, then I go on tirades that I don't need to go on. Alright, I don't know if we... I'm not really sure the reason I went up that road then. So maybe I can edit that. How does that really affect this? It does affect it. It actually does affect it a good bit. What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? See what I did? Do you see how fast my eyes just darted to a different line? And I go, hey, wait a minute. We're not giving anything. Not giving anyone anything right now. We're not granting anything. I'm starting to wonder if maybe here is why. No, that was part of it, yeah, because the building, okay. 111-foot building. Okay, and then it went into the mountains here. There must be another one that it comes out of. I know it goes around. But it's gonna be stuff like this. I don't see any double walls. I don't really see too much of a blatant, excuse me, attempt to repurpose structures. I don't look at my chat at all. Don't worry. The wall is, I don't think this is the wall, but the ridge of this mountain is interesting. So I like to follow those because it has not steered me wrong in a lot of ways. I don't think we're gonna find it unless this is gonna be something interesting where this glitches. If there was any wall landmarks around it, I would say, yeah, that is interesting because that probably shouldn't just be an anomalous sliver of Africa here that just doesn't load. That's probably a coding error, programming error, because Africa's so big. Oh man, I gotta pee. Let's go to the edge of this little plateau here. Do we see any signs? Nah, not really. I mean, it is double. We're seeing some double. We are seeing some double. But are we willing to grant that? See, now that's going to be where it's up to you guys as individual girthers, G-earthers. That's where it's going to be up to you guys as individuals. I'm willing to probably grant that it is something because we're going to be seeing blocks that don't make sense. That's a pentagonal brick block, whatever the fuck. If Lego comes out with a 5-sided piece, it's probably not a Lego kind of thing. I don't know. We're going to do the BRB real quick. I'm going to go to the restroom. I'm going to be back. Yeah. We're going to keep going. Keep doing stuff. Hello. Hello. Let's keep looking, shall we? Oh, she saw us. Ah, I'm getting up, he says. Take your time. Take your time. It's the end of the year. And while I won't say the Bible will always be there, I will always have my copy. Though in a way it will. Where's the wall? There's the wall. Alright, so I looked up a map of Algeria. I try to find the oldest maps I can. I'm actually not northbound here. Alright, so that's where the wall stops for me. I'm gonna put money on, if we zoom in here, we can find wall. And you want to know how I know? You want to know how I just have a hunch? You want to know how I bet I can zoom into any one of these lines that go westbound and find that it's not something modern? You want to know how I know? I'll show you how I know. Because I just do. Because I just do. Because I just do, guys. I just kind of have a feeling, guys. I just do. Told you. Told you. It ain't that hard. How big's that building? That's modern. We got a tower near it. See, that's road. That, willing to grant, is road. But we're looking at wall here, guys. We're looking at wall. We're looking at Gwowa here. And I told you. Do you know how I know? How do I know? How do I do it? That's how I do it. See how easy that was? So now, unfortunately, that makes it difficult for us. Because we have to go back to where we think we found that we started. And we then just have to make that giant leap. Oh, Lord. Oh, my. Just like stuff like this again. There's whole ass grids within. Okay, so we're just going to have to bite the bullet here. Follow it. We're going to follow it as long as we can. See, this is more stuff that's interesting because it's like it's a really perfect circle-ish. Okay, but we're not willing to grant that. We're definitely probably gonna have two sections here though. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Maybe that's just hopefully not. Oh geez. So we just follow this. You're starting to see more traditional things like we would normally see. How do I know it's the wall? How do I know it's the wall? How do I know? Let's see. Where is it? We don't want it to steer us wrong here. Might say, why aren't you marking it down? Why aren't you marking it down? Because I unfortunately think we have a branching path here. We might. But let's just continue to follow the upper path then. Oh, no, no, no. This is what I'm talking about, folks. This is what I'm talking about. We don't want to see too many of these on the sides. Because then that means we have to really go out of our way. And I want to say that's getting into the Black Desert there, which is going to make it convoluted. We're just going to try to keep following this. We don't want to see too much more of this because we're going to I just hope I'm wrong. One of these times I hope I'm wrong. One of these times I'll be wrong. Okay, so see how we're kind of doing some curvy shit here. We're going to end up laying down a long stretch, I have a feeling. Yep, see, just we're going to keep following it. We're going to keep following it. Keep inspecting the things we find. That looks like a fence. That looks like a fence because these sides are thin. Kind of can see between it. It kind of looks like they maybe want to keep you away from that. Long things like that might be poles, trees, I don't know. Keep following, keep following. Starting to see things like this. Old stone bridges. Kind of getting close to like what we would start to consider, you know, more established areas of the wall. You're gonna go... Oh, they're actually calling this a fort here. It actually is too. We actually found a star fort along the wall. So not just a thought anymore. It's actually a concentration camp. Holy shit. Oops. Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to find a concentration camp. I'm sorry. YouTube. Oh, goodness. Is it it's an old French concentration camp? Oh, my. Holy cow, that's my bad. Camp de Concentration de Bossuet. Just casually found a concentration. I love that it's actually a star fort. I've been perusing Google Earth as well. Good, good. Call me whenever you're ready. Bro, I'm floored by this. This is all what we've done today. I don't even remember when I took the damn measurement on the calculator. Just casually. Yup. Oops. So 182 was the big segment. Oh my goodness. That was a really cool sound.
That's the
Is that what it is?
yeah.
So that was the.
It's nice. It doesn't stay. It's like a seasonal thing.
I
There's a
like that.
spooky Halloween one too. I'm sure there's like a turkey one for Thanksgiving. Probably not, but still, that's a big one. So
50, 90. Okay, so we can add the 40s. How you doing, man?
man, I feel like I could just keep going, keep sleeping.
That's nothing wrong.
Uh, I wanted to tell you I've been browsing Google Earth as well on my own time, and I was watching one of those old, well, not old. It's who's the monotone fella that is always skeptical about everything
Jon
on
Levi?
Google? Yeah,
Oh, we should do his weekly video.
yeah. Actually, yeah, you should watch. If we do, it's the. I guess it's. Wait, let me see if I can find it. If it's the right one.
I need to not
Playlist.
postpone me just following this wall a little bit more because I did find this other fucking like 100-mile section. Son of a gun.
Nice.
It just doesn't end, mate. We're up to 780 miles today.
You know, I was yeah, this is it. The video that I watched was called Dear Mr. President, Tartaric Survivors, and it just came out 7 days ago, and it
I think we're
was
gonna watch some of those.
yeah, it shows him at the beginning, like
He,
in front of a microphone.
yeah, he's a chill dude. He's like, like
He looks exactly the way I imagined him. Like, I
I
don't think
actually like
anything's
strive to
exactly the
be the.
same.
I want to look like him a little bit. Like he's just. I love his setup. I love everything he's got going on.
Yeah,
We're gonna throw some Jon Levi love on this channel right about now. Actually,
sick.
let's do it. Let me not be an. I'm not gonna be lazy. I'm gonna do section 22 here real quick. Oh gosh. This is taxing because the whole time I'm just thinking like there's no fucking way, dude. There's just no way. There's just no way. Well, like the government's calling each other, say, "Oh, do build section 4 K6 today," because there's fucking markings along it. It's so incredulous.
And what? And they reply like, "Sir, this is a Wendy's."
Law, bro, nah. Stopping for McRibs. No cap. This
Dang,
job be hard for real.
what are you looking at though? Like that's for sure like a boundary or a wall, but it's so consistent throughout.
Bro, it's disgusting. Like I can't say what it is or what it isn't for sure, but I am just going to keep saying that this is not one of those kosher finds. This is definitely odd.
Have you seen the geometry? Like, have you like angled it to see if there's any kind of indent along with the marking or?
We're going to go. It really was just following this, yeah, this double trail. I had a hunch at one point. I think this is going to be more of it. Of course. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Just two walls for oil. I'm not willing to grant this is modern at all. Definitely not willing to grant that this is.
It
Nope.
looks like an intersection for two walls.
Like you can tell that there was definitely a wall here. Look at this. You can see the starfort shape of it. You can see the actual shape.
Yeah.
And so, like, again, not willing to grant that this is a modern structure with. No, not at all.
All right. A little bit of a spoiler for where I was perusing though from the video. He doesn't like do a like he does explore, but I found my own shit. Um, but it's over in Turkey. Have you
Ooh.
explored Turkey?
I think that I might have seen a video. I don't think it was the same one, but it was something about Derinkuyu, the underground city.
Oh, yeah, no, this
Oh,
is.
we
Oh,
got another one? No, we don't. Okay. We just gotta finish this just jackass long section here.
holy crap.
I know, it's just, it's, oh, is this the fucking stone bridge? It's one of them. Okay. Okay, so then it does this up here. Okay, so we actually were going the wrong way on it. It's up there. That's not too bad of a fix, though. I want to say that this thing on top here, yep, again,
Hmm.
something. What were you talking about Turkey though? Because there's enough about Turkey that I can just say something totally different.
The the places looked. I mean, the guy hints at it. In his videos, he's saying it looks blasted. It looks charred. It looks like they were like buildings that had gone through Armageddon that were like still standing, but barely. But they were there, and they definitely look much older than you know
Way
the
older than time frames.
right what we're estimating. Uh,
And for it to
and
just be gone right now. That's the for it to either be in the condition it's in, for it to be in the condition it's in next to modern things in better condition, or to be in places where it shouldn't
right,
in the condition it's in. Because it's like, like one of the fun theories is like, oh well, it's like, why did the U.S. bomb the inside of Pompeii during World War II? They didn't want you to find the truth. That's interesting. That's really interesting. But why is the entire Great Wall of Africa just like a nuked civilization, the entire continent? It's like when it's like, oh well, Pompeii, it's a volcano. It could be destroyed by bombs. This is just not something that any modern explosive can just take out, like cities, continents. Like we don't know of that. And so to buy the myth of them building it is one thing, but then to also buy, the prescribed historical narrative of its destruction is equally implausible to me. That's why the San Francisco thing sticks out, because of the circumstance. They say, "Oh, well, they did all that, they built all that, and it was destroyed in an earthquake and a fire in 50 years." Okay, that's the strange part to me.
mm,
Turkey, like, okay, so on the timeline, Turkey is massive. It's got a huge presence. I'm trying to remember what empire it used to be. It wasn't Constantinople. It was Ottoman, right? It was the Ottoman Empire.
hmm.
Okay. So yeah, the Ottoman Empire stretches huge swaths of time. What technology did the Ottoman Empire have, and then, what scalable technology could destroy that?
There were obviously automobiles for that were made of men. Wait,
They were made of men.
they were autonomous men. They were diesel powered human beings.
I found a part in this actually. I'm gonna take you to it before we do a John Levi thing. I gotta end this actual segment somewhere, dude.
Yeah,
Holy shit! We're gonna have to put it right there. 120 miles. Jeez.
I'm just expecting it to spiral if you lose like. This
20.
isn't this isn't this is a labyrinth. This isn't.
Like, yeah. What if this was just like a king's elaborate labyrinth
No,
star?
that thing, the Great Labyrinth is under Egypt apparently now.
Well, guess where
That
this fucking wall is headed, my friend. This
uh,
wall is
Af
headed, maybe not fully in that direction. Not this segment, at least. 2 points. You mentioned geometry. Did I have any geometry? Yes. right
Yeah.
here. I thought that maybe I had here, 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 and up to that point,
Ooh.
this. So I was starting to get this octagonal shape. Then I noticed this goes down here a little bit, whatever this boundary is. But then I have really no justification for a leap in this direction. I have a little bit of a justification for the bottom. There's really no reason for it to be an octagon. It's really just the trapezoid here that was, because you have this really dark thing from SL, but then it would hit here. So it's like that trapezoid did it. It had me thinking like, well, that's really, that's a tangram. Africa's a tangram. Tectonic plates are just a tangram. So that was the only real geometry I had other than borders. I also have this shape here where it goes boom, 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 where this part of the desert is just not covered in sand enough to actually keep it hidden. You have these nice little like stray dunes that sort of sweep across it, but like Chega's in the middle of this like sort of
Is it concave or convex? Is it a
that.
mountain or is it a valley?
This is actually, so the max elevation, if you look above my head, is, I hope I'm not covering it. Yep, I'm not. The max elevation here and minimum, we have 600 minimum within the area, maximum of 1800. We're not going to be able to just do the normal like tilt to get because we're not looking at like real mountains, but you can do you should be able to click on individual like sections here, and it'll give you like the elevation estimates as well. It gives you the minimums.
Cool.
If we just do here to here, be done. Minimum would be 632. How can I tell where the minimum is? I'm gonna say that this is probably bowl. This is a bowl. That's gonna be my guess. It dances really close to the Richat structure down here, which is like maybe where an asteroid had hit. It's really crazy though that like that part there, it's sort of housed by this same trapezoid shape. Not really sure. That doesn't really tie into like anything I'm thinking. And then there's a cobblestone desert, that Libyan black desert I was telling you about. And I think I have a theory. Oh, no, 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 no. We can't go all the way up to Kings Island because that is way not right. Castle, castle, cobblestone desert. Take me.
I miss Kings Island.
This is where I think this is where they got the materials to build shit. The cobblestone desert right here. Look at just how perfect some of these are cut in both directions. And then we're going to take a look at Paul Cook YouTube real quick. Throw some love at Paul Cook.
It looks smooth.
It looks smooth, and it looks more than smooth, and I'll tell you why in a sec. Posts. We're going to look at something. I mean, whatever he's looking at here is just insane. Here's the pyramid court. Here's the underground everything of Giza. Link to his page in the chat. I want to find the zoomed out pictures. Man, Jon Levi, Paul Cook, two of the best. Like, this guy goes to places. Okay, so here's a good picture, and where I'm kind of thinking maybe some of these bricks here might have fit in. You see how massive those things are in the back and how uniform they, for the most part, are?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, these ones here don't tend to be that uniform, these smaller slabs. This one here doesn't seem to be uniform. This one doesn't seem to be uniform. These are absolutely not uniform. These are diagonally cut. These are milled. And so you get these really odd shapes where they're not cut right. And then you look at a desert like this and you say, oh my gosh, this desert is machined. You look at a diagonal cut like this and you start to see how do you get shit like this? Well, you take blocks from the diagonal. Blew my mind.
Yeah.
The whole
Those
desert is
interesting.
cobblestone, man. And then you got these kind of things here where it's like absolutely there was a dwelling of sorts. These are circular buildings. These aren't easy to build. The whole desert is cobblestone. It's machined. It's ready to be taken out and to be put in another place. So that was my thinking when I saw this. It's just like, wow. No wonder some of these pieces and some of these giant megalithic structures fit together so perfectly. It's because what if they were cut from the same part of the ground? That to me is that's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's get some Jon Levi love going. Let's get some Jon Levi love going. Golly, it's immaculate. All right, so we got a link in here. The Deception Falls. Is this today's? Nope. Dear Mr. President, visit site. All right, we're doing a Jon Levi react video on the channel. First one, Jon Levi. Let's give his channel plug here. Did I copy it? Is that his whole channel? I think I did that right. There we go. Jon Levi is one of the absolute best. Oh, that's neat. I clicked a button and it posted the median it posted all that data to the chat. Neat. All right, so this is Tartaric Survivors. Make sure my levels don't go wild.
Check, check, mic check, everything check. Oh, sorry. You're good. Chi is good. So, a video. Hello. Today I'm looking at something on the internet. I don't know why. I asked it. Any American...
I feel a little bit like him because he's always showing like videos of his cats and stuff. Cats and dogs or whatever. And then like, got to plug the latest short. We got dogs, we got cats. Love it. Dogs and cats.
Courthouses built in 1 year, and it said yes, so cheerfully.
Real quick, what's the, how do you go back 10 seconds with the key bind? What key is it? On YouTube, do you know?
Google it.
It's built in 1 internet.
Got it.
I don't know why. I asked it. Any American courthouses built in 1 year, and it said yes, so cheerfully, so enthusiastically. I didn't
Jay
even ask
rewinds
for
10 seconds.
anything old. I was just
I
being
fast forwards 10
innocent
seconds.
and naive. And here it doles out a couple of old ones. 1927 and 1925. Why wouldn't it be something within the last 20 or 30 years?
Good question, John.
Why wouldn't we get quicker? Why? Sorry. Let's try to find out.
Why? I love his tone. I've adopted his tone, and I've come to appreciate it so much, because if you're gonna tell me that this whole fucking continent's got a wall through it, then I'm gonna have to get a little snarky. I'm just gonna have to do it.
Today I'm looking at
He's talking about
houses
courthouses
built
built in a
one
year.
And here it doles out a couple of old ones, 1927 and 1925. Why wouldn't it be something within the last 20 or 30 years or 50? Why wouldn't we get quicker? Why? Sorry. Let's try to find out. I thank you for being here this week. I love you all. God bless and welcome.
I love his intro. It's so cool.
So-de-do. Sorry, I wasn't really gonna
Ooh.
record. That's the nature of art. So-de-do. Sorry, I wasn't
Would you
really
look at
gonna
that?
record.
That's kind of Mont Saint Michel like.
So-de-do.
Look at that. Like that's the spine of an old something like we're looking at. That has to be.
Sorry, I wasn't really gonna record. That's the nature of art. You don't know. You don't know if you can. Usually you don't want to.
Jeez,
And
look
then
at these
comes
things.
inspiration. But even when it comes, you might be too lazy to act on it. Not in the mood. Or in this case, too late. Too late. Approaching midnight. Midnight seems too late for anything. A meal. Going to the store.
Ooh, I love his videos because they just have such great pause value. Holy shit. Look at what's going on up here with the tech. Look at what's going on in the sky. Just what the hell?
Or calling somebody, or even being called. But anyway,
Oh.
Here we are, and here you are, on the internet, and this fine robotic service is always
Oh my
eager
goodness. 20 seconds, 10 seconds, 3
to
seconds.
chat. And again, it doles out these 2 old years. Now we know that this phenomenon goes back hundreds of years, even thousands. I mean, the idea of building things quickly and impossibly before people should be able to build the things we see. And everything great, everything is old. I mean, everything great. Worth visiting, all the tourist attractions. They'll fly all over the world to see old buildings. Ooh and ah, they might say. And what are they ooh and ahing about? I mean, really, how long until you ask the questions that we do
Oh,
on
now
this
that's
channel?
neat. That's neat.
I mean, really.
One
how long?
downside is, okay, so yeah, that's Megalithic Marvels. Great, another great YouTube channel. Nazca Mummies. So I guess if you Zion National Park. Okay, so he does actually have like the location. Just what the actual
You ask the questions that we do on this channel. Is wrong with these people? Ooh, it's so pretty. Yes, Peggy, it sure is splendid. And how long until they say no? This is not possible. This tour guide
was expecting
is a
some TIE
fool,
fighters to
and
fly
I'm not
out of
gonna
it.
take it anymore. F this, Peggy. Earl. And then Earl would find
F this, Peggy. Oh my gosh, this candor is amazing.
fool, and I'm not gonna take it anymore. F this, Peggy. Earl. And then Earl would find himself where we are. What do you do? What do you do? We
Fuck
ask
that.
questions that nobody answers week after week, and nobody answers us. It is not us who bears the burden of proof at this point. We have asked the questions based on their histories. We refute their histories and ask
Not a person in the picture.
based on their
Not a person. When was photography invented? 1850s. All right. Definitely not a lithograph. That's a photography. That's a photography.
histories.
Not
We
a
refute
person.
their
And I don't have a clue what these triangle things are. Not a clue. That's really weird looking.
history and ask simple questions, and no answers are given. And here, we're given 2 buildings. So stingy. This is what we waited for. Let's ask this search engine. Now this looks a lot better. Stream error signal. It was just pumping out some good stuff here, and then it shut down. Let me pause.
Golden Gate Exposition. San
Okay,
Francisco
we're back.
Bay.
Thank God I was screen recording. I want to see what happened there. This part that I said was awesome just disappeared. Unbelievable,
Ooh.
these bastards. Thank God I got a screen recording. Are you seeing this? And then it turned into this.
Would you look at that, Sauce? AI decided it didn't want to work. He got really close. He asked a question, and AI said, "Oh yeah, no,
Happened there. This part that I said was awesome just disappeared. Unbelievable, these bastards. Thank God I got a screen recording. Are you seeing this? And then it turned into this. Stream
Wow.
error signal received. Unbelievable. Well, again, I got the screen recording. Here is the proof. And
Also based, he
proof
uses
of
Mac.
deception. Thinking. Here we go. Thinking. Gives me the option to stop if I want. Boom. Pumps out all of this. And it just keeps going. Look how it just, here there's 3, then 4. I can see a 5th, but my screen's not
Wow.
recording that part. Anyway, year built, King William County Courthouse. Oldest courthouse still in use in the U.S. Year built, 1725, Virginia. Here, 1735, New Jersey. The old Salem
Does he go to
County
these? Does he show
Courthouse.
pictures?
They're pretty unbelievable. I guess I don't recommend this search engine, but I like it for the pictures. I just like the way it lays out pictures. I'll show you in a minute. So here,
Yes,
the
he will.
New York County Courthouse. Boom. I mean, the first one, it offered up again. Like I was saying, isn't it unusual that it would offer up a 1927 courthouse? I just asked any. Again, if I was innocent and naive, I would be shocked to be presented with this. Certainly nobody's expecting this to be built in 1 year in this
I
time
wouldn't.
period. Look at these little fruit wagons. Fruit wagons. Chief doesn't like my sarcasm. Would you like to buy some fruit? He's from the future. And this place is like the future for these people. This is not.
I really think it is, especially when you're looking at just this massive thing. It's like, okay, so 1 year. That should be like a church to these people. Like, these are just humble people. Just the most humble people.
Doesn't like my sarcasm. Would you future for these people? This is not a city built by these people. Look at
And
the
then there's
train
200
right
years in
here.
between this
Train,
one and then the one they said was
street,
actually
or
built in a
perhaps
year.
mud, and they've just cleared out the train. Look how built out it is. It's completely perfect, and we're just pushing wagons around. And today, this building is just as glorious as it was then. Just as dirty and overly built. Unnecessary. Chop 9/10 off of this building and it would be perfectly adequate. 9/10. Looks like someone's selling hot dogs here.
Yeah, when you see the little fucking push carts out front of these giant columns, dude, there is no feasible.
Hot dog stand. Very
Fuck
important.
that, Peggy.
We're going into the courthouse. Look at this door. These little people. Okay. Anyway. Ooh. 2,000 courthouses. This will be a side tangent. Courthouse. I mean, what is a courthouse? What is necessary? I mean, think about a courtroom. Judge Judy. I don't know. I've never seen more than 100 people in a courtroom. Maybe 2. Just say 2. 200 people. A court. Like a tennis court or basketball court. It's not even that big. These
The
kind of
true
courts
administration
are
of
much
justice
smaller than sports
is the
courts.
firmest
So, the
pillar
next one they
of
told
good
us
environment.
that was built in a short amount of time was the Los Angeles County Courthouse. Here she is. Just an imposing monstrosity.
Okay, we're gonna go to Google Earth for a sec for that one. Oh, shit. Dude, I'm so glad you've been watching Jon Levi videos, man.
They're fun. You brought me onto them. They're just now I'm starting to question the narrative. What can I say?
Because it's really just when you phrase it as the prescribed historical narrative, then it becomes very similar to um, like an experimental medical thing that went on recently. It becomes the thing that just it's consensus. Why? For the life of me, why? Like I can't, I just can't. That looks like the mansion in San Francisco that we were looking at the top of that hill, and it was just a
Yeah.
house. It was just a house, but this one's a courthouse. I really want to find it. Los Angeles County Courthouse. Los Angeles County. And when you just start to take his tone, I think it really does open up a little bit, and it becomes a little bit more fun because his tone is that of the fuck you mean, Peggy? The fuck you mean? I'm not the one that said the crazy thing. Los Angeles, just Superior Court. We'll get an address for it.
Old as hell. And I believe now
It looks so
possibly
fucking weathered
demolished.
already.
This fair, fine beauty, was completed in 1891. 1891.
2 years before
Now,
the
in
Columbian Exposition, and they
California
spent
is
the
just
fucking
getting
war
underway
budget.
in the 1850s. So this is like 40 years after California's inception. Here
I
we
see
go.
something
This
about
is
an
young.
earthquake in that paragraph. Damage sustained in the 1933 earthquake made the building unsafe and was demolished in 1936. Say the line, Bart! Say the line! Ugh, fuck.
Years after California's inception. Here we go. This is young and early California. I mean, here you can see the horses and wagons parked like a
Look at how they put the flags. I've never seen them put the flags like that. Ever. Are you seeing that? They put the tops of them together. What? Have you seen that orientation of flag before? Like I can maybe see that the one that's just normal, maybe the photo's reversed or something, but that wouldn't change the fact that these would be. Whoa.
horse
Oh,
parking
that's
lot
also a larger
here.
flag.
Doesn't really.
Those are two smaller flags with the stars facing each other.
Yeah, but I've never seen the stars facing each other ever. It's just like if you consider the 50 plus the other 50 and put them together like that. I don't think I have paint, but US.
There wouldn't be 50 then.
It'd be 100 because you'd have the 50 with the 50.
No. I mean, like, there was only a certain amount of stars back then.
I don't have like a paint. I don't know how
I
to
mean,
do this.
they added Hawaii and Alaska at one point, and it was just the staggered stars, or they were the straight up and down stars.
I guess what I'm trying to say is if it was just two flags together like it is, then it would I'm not saying that it was 50 back then. I'm just saying like where the 50 would be is up against this other 50, and you get this other type of flag then with this blue and white area in the middle top rather than the
Hmm.
top left. I've just never seen that orientation. I'm going into it a little bit too much, but
I think that's just a design choice by someone who is it's symmetry. Like they wanted to make it look nice.
oh yeah, and on the big flag they do have all the states already.
Those stars aren't staggered. But then again, how old is that photo?
This was I have to go back and get the pause back. I don't know why the whole screen wasn't loading in the last time. So we go back 10 seconds. It was completed in 1891.
Okay.
In Earth.
So that would be the 20 star. Wait, hang on.
1891 U.S. flag.
The Medallion Centennial, but that's a circular one. What? Hang on.
44 star? Ooh, okay. Exploring the significance. We have a little file here. So it would have been the 34 star. Okay. Just breaking everything down because I love these videos.
Early
That's cool.
California.
Well, it's good to check.
I mean, here you
It's
can
good to
see
check stuff like this
the
too.
horses and wagons parked. It's like a horse parking lot here. Doesn't really seem like somebody planned for this. I mean, if you built this building, you would have had some nice posts at least to tie up the animals. Maybe, if that's what we're dealing with in this time period? No. Maybe some fountains. Can we get a fountain for the horse? No. We can water these palm trees, and we can build train tracks, but
It's a
we
good
can just
point
have
about the trees,
horses
too.
here shitting on the tracks. Just doesn't seem like this was a good plan. How many stories did you need again? Again, a courtroom. 1,000 courtrooms? Yes, I'm here for court. Ah, your court will be on the 5th floor. Wing Z. Oh, is there an
I
elevator?
love how it's
I have
edged
a bit of a gimp.
on
Oh,
the
like the
corners,
rounded
but then in the circular, it's
I
the
digress.
circular
An
like
outside
interior. Like
elevator.
I love that.
An outside elevator with window. With windows were later added.
With windows that was later added to the building became a sightseeing attraction of the city. Oh, so they unveiled this elevator that was so
We're gonna go
beautiful
back
it
to
became an
Africa real
attraction.
quick because-
actually. Damage sustained to the building in 1933 during the earthquake made the building unsafe, and it was demolished.
Ooh,
in
see how he points the same fucking
1936.
thing out?
There we
Ooh,
go.
I love it.
1936, so we didn't even get 50 years. Not even 50 out of this beauty. For a short time, it
That's
had an
such a
elevator
shame,
that
dude.
did address the
Those sides, like you're talking about, this giant section. I don't know if you were here in the stream at this time when I was going about the border here, but there's just this giant long piece. That's just miles of these zigzags. These little sort of rotunda things that you're talking about on the building.
Very surface, like moon surface. Oh shit! What's that?
Yo, this is again just a couple 100 miles long. Just the zigs. Why did you need two?
Puzzle pieces.
Why did you need two perfect trenches, right? So the outside of that building actually kind of looks like the outside of like this plain of Africa that just zigzags.
Now it's looking like a star fort, or at least star fort wall.
That concentration camp was a star fort.
That's crazy. Look at like the blast zone, or is that just cars? Just are there like what are those streaks on the ground?
The streaks have to be just like cow carts, camel carts or something, because this is the kind of shit that's been here. This is the like look at the smaller structures within this. This is nuts. There are walls to the sides. These things were already here. So anytime you see this like pushed up effect where there's like, oh, it's like a bulldozer pushing sand to make a wall, they're trying to cover up these massive walls that are already by all these structures. Because they're just, why did you need all of this? You don't need all this. You just don't. And so whenever he's looking at one building, again, there's another one perfectly. When he's looking at one building and it has like very, very similar traits to like forts in India, and forts in India start resembling the actual continent of Africa, then I start saying, well, shit, then it is just a simulate. It's a microcosm. It's an absolute, it's just, look at this. In this thing that he's showing us, that can't even be more than like a city block, and that's already way smaller than like what this is. So, jeez.
Elevator issue, but the building was deemed unsafe. This building that looks like it's been sitting here for 1,000 years was deemed unsafe. And
All the
had to
bricks
be
are already
torn
washed
down
out and shit.
because-
Yeah, it's brand new. And you see the thing at the end of the road there? I don't know what that is. Looks like a big circle.
Part 3? Is this 3? Anyone? Yes, it's part 3, you bastard.
Look at all those
Thank
bricks.
You. Here we can see a construction outfit. Something Angstrom Company? Fine chariot here. Pulled by a couple of
Fine
clearly
chariot.
mud roads. But we saw earlier there were train lines. Looks like about 9:40, maybe 9:40 in the morning, according to this clock up here. And what am I going to talk about? So, we have a great opportunity. We're witnessing an opportunity to put all this BS to bed. What do I mean? Well, here we question whether it's possible to build buildings like this. And like I said, it's not up to us to prove anything. We're not the ones telling the story. The who tells the story bears the burden of proof. They tell the story, serve. We ask a question. The ball is in their court. We ask, how is it possible?
Did he just say my line? He said my line.
We ask a question. The ball is in their court.
Vindicated. Oh my gosh. The lady's been going through, she went through something where she was talking to the property manager or something, like she was talking about a neighbor, and she was worried like, oh, the neighbor was going to get mad. She complained about the noise. And I said, well, here's the thing. Because you sent the email, the ball is not in your court. It was. But now you have put it in someone else's court. And they can do whatever they want with the ball. But it is not on you. You have done what you need to do. Same exact thing when it comes to the prescribed historical narrative, PHN. It's the exact same thing. I'm not the one that says it was built in a year and thinks that that's crazy. I'm just the guy that thinks it's crazy. And so the ball is not in my court. This is why I hate the pyramids, because no one ever, the people that agree on it don't even agree on it. No one even looks at this shit. So to be the first one here and to say, yeah, the Los Angeles County Courthouse, like, oh yeah, that is kind of strange if we're putting wood power lines up and still building wood buildings and putting wood signs on buildings that look a couple hundred years old. Yeah, no, so how long did it take? 6 fucking minutes? Yeah, no, that sounds silly. Fuck that, Peggy.
Ask how
Ball's in
is
your
it
court.
possible to build buildings like this in 1 year or 5 or 10? It doesn't matter.
Yep.
With these
There's just no people. Like there in the left picture, there's no people. So who's it for? Like they're the construction areas now. I get it. There's more population or whatever, but they put gates up to keep people out from like fucking with it or getting hurt or something. Or wouldn't you think like even the neighborhood kids would be like, oh, I want to go play on the big steps? Nothing.
with no construction photos or convincing ones.
The kids had jobs.
With no power. We can all
True.
agree that
Why weren't the
there's
kids
no
building it,
power
though?
Or cranes.
They probably were.
Where are they?
Pounds, and nobody offers us anything. We did have Bloomberg responding.
There's
They're
no
on
kids
lunch
with
break. They're on
families.
smoke
And they
break,
just-
dude.
There's ivy on the walls already. That's how old this is. There's ivy on the walls. Again, I'm not the guy that says, like, didn't you just build that, though?
Tried to ridicule
Ivy doesn't take
me
too long to grow on
and
shit,
This
but-
community, instead of taking
If ivy doesn't take that long to grow, that's fine. But I would say that it probably takes, if the bar will go away. You see this, like, circle thing here? There's already a crack running through it. Diagonal crack, you see that? But I thought you just built the thing.
the question seriously, as
And
it
it's
is a serious
breaking
question.
down
Anyway,
already?
I digress. Here I asked the robot, can you tell me about Trump's new White House addition project? What is
I don't
being
know, man.
demolished, built, how long, how much will
Still
it
pretty ass
cost?
building, though.
Will materials be
Gorgeous.
similar to original construction? So here's my point. Sorry about all my beating around the bush. Cat has come in finally. So it tells me, here's the latest verified information about Donald Trump's White House project. And if you don't know, you'll know now. You'll know why this is such a good opportunity, and also why it's such a slap in the face. What is being built? A massive new ballroom. Stupid. Now I do lean more conservative and tend to despise socialists. I prefer the government
Based.
that governs least and certainly spends less. The government that gets out of my way is
Based.
the government for me. And this is just stupid. Again, dear Mr. President, and presidents on both sides of the aisle always do this. They're gonna leave some legacy. For who? Who's gonna enjoy this ballroom? Who cares? You are here to govern, not have a ball. Cancel the ballroom project. Nobody voted for a ballroom. Sorry, but no, really. The new ballroom is planned to seat nearly 1,000 guests. Okay, keep that in mind. It's going to be 100,000 square feet, and the purpose will be for large dinners and receptions and events without outdoor tents. Okay, so tents seem to have been acceptable until now, until the gluttony. And anyway, here's the meat. What is being demolished? So again, this is a double expense. You have the expense of demolishing and building something new. Just build this.
That's what I was saying
ballroom
earlier.
somewhere in the grass. There's a lot of grass in Washington. A lot of grassy knolls. So the White House East Wing, originally built in 1902. And here we go. And let us have a looketh at this White House East Wing.
Wow.
Ah, here she is. The White House East Wing. Unbelievable. So here's 1902. This
Oh,
is
so it's
supposed to be
already in
like a
ruins.
construction photo or something? Here we see demolishing. Is this building still here in the background? I don't know. But the materials
No.
used are absolutely superior. Everything built in this time period will be the real deal. What the heck? Here is the East Wing in a sketch in the past, and it says now and then. It tells us President Harrison's wife proposed these
White House burned
additions
down in
the late
1814.
1800s. Come on. Such a dreamer.
You said it burnt down in 1914?
1814.
1814?
Forgive me. Let's switch to black and white. Here's the East Room in the White House.
1791,
This
George
is
Washington
not
selected
suitable
the site
them
for the White
today.
House.
On the chopping block.
Starting in
So they're gonna
1792 to
demolish
1800,
this
construction
to
took place.
1812? But it was still like a Roman structure, even like in their eyes, if they were drawing accurately, which seems to be that. Okay, dude, really though? But for real? In the middle of nowhere, really though? For fuck's sake, are you kidding? The Taj Mahal just in Virginia. Look at this giant ass road to the left that's built up like a Roman aqueduct. Okay, but it's just a drawing. Okay.
Make way for a ballroom. And here we go. Somebody's fighting. Historic preservation groups and critics contend demolition. They say work began without required federal review. Lawsuits have been filed seeking to stop the work. So they started in...
This is the first time we've talked
October
about Trump on this
25,
channel, really.
and it's supposed to last till January of 29.
Won't be the last.
4 years for an addition.
Nope.
And how much? will this,
4
compared to the
years
past lengthy project,
today.
take anywhere
Okay.
from 200 to 300 million or higher? Trump has stated that the project is being privately funded by himself and various donors, not by the taxpayers. Okay, at least. Design and materials.
Yeah, what materials?
The White House says the ballroom will mirror the architectural style of the existing White House, with classical design elements. Renderings show columns, chandeliers, and traditional detailing. The ballroom walls will have modern safety features like bullet-resistant glass, although there's no official comprehensive.
I'm kind of reading behind the thank you, Rita, there. So the White House is the facade, and we actually do have some honest photography, pictorial representations here. Holy shit, actually. So it burnt down and they found that it was brick underneath. Actually, yes. Turns out it is.
Materials
Red
list
brick.
publicly released yet, but statements emphasize heritage design and aesthetic continuity with the historic mansion. So we'll see. 4 years and $300 million. We'll see if they will match not only the architectural features, but the quality of the materials. We're told the original White House, the whole damn thing, was built in 1792 and is primarily constructed of stone and brick. The main building, the exterior of the White House, is made from sandstone. It was quarried from a site in Virginia about 40 miles from Washington.
This is the shit I'm talking about, dude. Give me these numbers.
Again, horse and wagon. And still
Horse and wagon, 40 miles, sandstone. And they had carts like that. Little fucking construction carts with wooden wheels. No. Fuck that, Peggy. Fuck that.
Pretty good time. The sandstone was used for the first 2 stories of the building.
Oh,
the core of the
yo.
structure is made of brick. These bricks were made locally from
Oh.
clay dug near Washington, D.C. So again, this is ongoing. We'll have an opportunity to see if they're able to match both the speed and quality of construction. So let me know
In
your thoughts.
1792,
I hope you've enjoyed
yeah.
this week
Good
and
point.
This video. I love you all. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.
You got a little bonus segment I see here. He's exploring some girth, so we'll check that. Let's digest the White House part a sec, though.
I'm chilling.
Thoughts?
Well, what do you mean? What should I be thinking about?
I don't know, just thoughts? Like,
Well,
1 year
when it comes
buildings.
to the White House,
White House, thoughts on
mean-
any of it?
that one's going to be tough because the White House has been through a lot of renovations. It's been updated, rebuilt, refurbished. I'm sure there's lots of things that make the White House at this point completely useless to actually fully utilize. So it's more of like a decorative piece or a representation more than it is a functioning place for the important dire affairs compared to like ceremonial affairs. So as much as I think it has a relevance, there's just I don't know. How you it's exactly how you feel about Egypt. It's like, all right, that one's pretty loud and obnoxious. Everyone's looking at it. There's too much attention on it. Like, you know that that's a red herring in some way, shape, or form. So why even bother paying attention to it?
Based. Understood. Totally get it. I actually completely understand that. I'm noticing something here when I'm looking at this shape of the
It's a
White
penis.
House.
Well,
We're gonna look at the parts that are sticking out here.
you know the that circular protrusion in the White House?
The rotunda.
Yeah, that's not the Oval Office like they make it
No.
out to be. It's
Yeah,
actually
it's
like in the left wing or something like that.
this one right here. Yeah. Yeah, DC is I don't tend to get into buildings with DC because it's very much which one is the most unbelievable. Like I don't think the White House is the most unbelievable thing in DC. I honestly think like this whole thing here probably the most unbelievable part of it. Probably the statues as well. Like is anyone talking about this place? Is anyone fucking saying like, "Oh, this is crazier than the White House?" Probably not. I am cuz look,
It's gorgeous.
there's a difference between speculation and the fuck you Peggy moments. This is a fuck you Peggy moment. This is ridiculous. This is just not.
Oh, I love the concave portion. Oh,
That's Italy.
oh,
That's Italy. This is Venice. Like if you look at Venice and you see these red roofs and the circles and stuff, you're gonna say, oh, that's DC.
oh, I love that part right
I
there.
I think that
The
this is the
concave
most.
circle. Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, dude. I think that this is the most impressive part of Washington D.C. by far, and I actually think that that thing right there is probably. If you go back in history enough, I bet you'll find that that was a star fort. I bet you find that shape was actually a star fort.
Hmm.
Because when you start seeing them everywhere, you start noticing they're just actually everywhere. And then in some places, they're actually everything. Like Africa, I'm trying to figure out. I always thought this was the White House, but this is the Capitol building. The Capitol building, this was all unearthed like in our great grandparents'
I've
lifetime,
been
in
on
our
those
life.
stairs.
You've been on them?
Hmm. Yep. I think I poked Lincoln's foot with my finger.
Lincoln's on the other side of that, actually.
Yep.
Yep.
Because then yeah, there it is.
So, yeah, I mean, DC's a whole circuit. The courthouses definitely are. They're definitely more interesting, and the speculation's a lot better and brighter because you don't have things like, well, it's the nation's capital. Well, they cared about it. One could debate that, but yeah, the city planning here is absolutely gorgeous. So it's a real good thing that Washington said that the White House should go here because then that allowed them to build this giant fucking Freemason logo in Arlington here.
Yeah.
So yeah, the DC one it's a harder pitch. Here you have the Pentagon at the base of the Arlington National Cemetery, which is the pattern of seeing star forts at the bases of mountains that you're not allowed to really fuck with because it's either a cemetery or like a national park. And you're probably not going to go digging up Arlington, probably. So yeah, random ass courthouses in random ass cities definitely is gonna it's gonna give if everybody goes to the government with a piece of paper in a different building that was claiming to be built in a random ass time and just goes, well, what about this one? What about this? Well, what about this? What about this one? This one's different than that one though, but still stupid. Because I'm trying to figure out a way that everybody can unite. No one left, right. We're not gonna agree on anything. So can it at least be on something ridiculous, right? My gosh, I love it. I love it. What's he explore at the end? Let's find out.
So, while doing this research, we reach a point that we realize that people were displaced. We see Tartaria written here on countless old maps, similar to we see nations that now disappear. So we have to ask ourselves, what happened to this nation? And through the years of making these videos, people chime in the comments.
You were
when
looking
I
in the
ask
exact
such
places I was
questions,
looking
and they
first,
tell
but
us
it's
we're
not.
still here.
You're
They've
not. You're
tuned
not close.
into parts of
It's the one surrounded by the water to your left.
Um, my one what?
Uh, just keep going, or you can just
many of
type
these
Turkey
other
and
nations.
it'll take you
Oh,
to
I
it.
was watching
But
his video. Did you think I was on
oh,
my own
I thought you
earth?
were looking. Yeah, yeah. It looked like you. Never mind.
Bro, that's
There's a
so
delay.
great. Yeah, here's Turkey. I found, I think, some of my more recent ones because I just flip between Africa and like underground Turkey now. Some like this line for the most part is what I found. A lot of this internal stuff I found. Uh,
Go in the right smack in the center, where you're. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this thing.
There's yeah. There was something he was doing that was really cool, where he was scrolling the time
Ooh, yeah.
of like, and it nothing changes, and for a lot of these fields, for a lot of the farmland, all of it looks unused.
It's like it's unused, but it's also by no one. Oh yeah, to the left it looks way different. It looks way gridded up. Maybe that's like the technology, satellite technology. Like this thing? You talking about like the checker patterns there?
No, if anything, keep watching the video and let him catch up to it.
They're living amongst them in
There's
exile, and many have
some
been
really
relocated.
interesting
It's
like
similar to Native
blasted portions.
Americans being relocated, their lands encroached upon and redistributed, suiting the writers of history's new narrative. And again, many people chime in verifying this. And we have seen, at least in my lifetime, renaming of nations, almost like reservation. A lot of these Stan nations, and I asked the robot about Stan, and it tells me the suffix means land or place of. Here we can see the stands. We've discussed
Oh,
Turkmenistan in the past in great detail and how absolutely advanced it is. Like, these are not what you would
he's talking
think
about
they would
Turkmenistan.
be.
Yeah,
Let me just show
Ashgabat,
you real
fucking Star
quick here,
City.
for example. It's not just the palaces, but it's
Ashgabat's
the
not a real
gardens,
place.
and even the story with these nations. There's like nobody here. A lot of interesting videos on YouTube, and I've shown some in
This
the
place is
past about
crazy.
people visiting these cities and how absolutely strange they are. Almost having a North Korea vibe, just
Here it
totally
comes.
abandoned and overkill when it comes to infrastructure. The people were even said to receive free power in this city, but we don't know. A lot of chess being played
I love
in real
Ashgabat.
time. And today I just wanted to look at one little place in this neck of the woods.
Where's he evolving
It's
from?
called Ani, Turkey. And I thought we would check out the ruins real quick. Let me take you there. So this is something interesting. I'm going to try not to get too off topic towards the end here. But we see an absolute scrape fest. And I've
That's
brought it
Ashgabat.
through all different times up here. And nobody farms this. This is
Yeah, it's
actual
samurai,
destruction.
Hisuian samurai.
There is no farming going on here. Very, very anomalous. And I live in farm lands.
Isn't that
I know
crazy?
what farmed land looks like. This is excavated. This is removal of land.
Yeah,
But
that's
anyway, this site we're looking at is
crazy.
right here. Again, surrounded by this
No,
scrape fest. But for some reason, they didn't scrape this. They left it perhaps as a
they left it. Yes, that's all they do.
cultural heritage site. And this is said to be the city of 1,001 churches or cathedrals. And the thing's a total cooked out wasteland. But when we look carefully, we see structures like this. And we are told All of these ruins were actually constructed between 961 and 1045. So like 100 years, 1,000 years ago. Here's a look at 1,000-year-old ruins, like some lion. Here again, 1,000-year-old ruins. Look at this. I would love to facade the outside of my house like this.
The
Look
fuck?
how intricate. And clearly
Ah.
mold, clearly not carved, which indicates advanced. And here we see an archaeologist in 1905. Look at this. Look at that column. All of this. And here, some church. They're trying to show what it may have looked like. And the truth is, we can see churches like this everywhere. It's
True.
not far reach. Many of them.
Yeah, it's
are
really
still
not that hard
standing
to
in
imagine what that
perfect
could have
shape
looked like.
today. Here again, just the ruins.
No. There weren't enough people to make that happen at that time in history, I am told. And even if it's true, who the fuck is it for? I know, like, oh, they pay their homage to whatever gods they were fucking believe in or something because they had the 8-point star, like that's a Muslim thing or whatever, or communist thing, one of the two. But like,
And here I am thinking, damn, what kind of shit could I have done without the internet
yeah, I'm
if I wasn't so preoccupied?
yeah, dude, if Nuzlocke didn't matter at all. But no, dude, no. Okay, so zooming in actually doesn't zoom in on the video. If you look at these spiral, the Twizzler parts, they're cut where the stone is cut. So that's cast, my friend. That's not carved at all. That's machined. That's cast. It's like a rebar was actually bent and cut at the same points of the brick. That's machined. That is not a stone and chisel wielding population in in what 10 generations from Christ. That's just not.
Just
Even if they didn't use a ruler, you could still use a reference tool to make those types of patterns.
You see this
etching into.
But you see this, like this perfect block right here?
Yeah.
It's the exact same height as Twizzlers, which is the exact same perfect 4x3 pattern of all of these. This would take so many lifetimes to carve the stars. Like, I hope you don't have to breastfeed your children ever because you're going to the mural. You got to work on the mural for your 100.
Amazing.
They don't even have 100 years.
Maybe you could let me know what language this is. Look at this, the braided entryway, just unbelievable. Here's the cathedral.
Beautiful.
Again, 1,000 years later, the impeccability of this structure, the beauty. Now, just a husk of what it was. Here again, I mean, what?
Goodness.
1,000 years later, and the whole area just completely cooked out. Looks like there's ruins all over here. This is a great, great sight. What could be discovered here? And here again, and no doubt, I think these were not just randomly out in the middle of nowhere. These are the survivors, and there would have been entire cities around here. So I don't know, I could go on and on. It's so mind-blowing. Similar to the ruins we explored in Northern Africa, hinting at a super advanced people at one point. And here is, again, the city. All that's left, I mean, this is it. After all that and 1,000 years, we just have this little dump village. And here are the ruins of this city up on the hill. A lot of the structures that we were looking at. And what you can see from above is that the whole city is still here. It's all buried. You can see it buried, and just a few of these sites have been excavated. Let's change the time. Here we are in 2011. I guess we didn't have color.
I know part of like YouTube is like you have to add commentary and like meaningful commentary and stuff. So I'm gonna have to pause it for a sec because I'm actually speechless. Nothing useful is gonna come out of my mouth about that.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah, no, I actually, that's Jon Levi. If you're in the chat, go immediately follow him, subscribe, please. Great work that man does. Oh, dude. That's fucking gross. That's gross. Oh, wow. I don't even like want a cigarette. Like, I don't even want to go outside. I'm gonna start digging.
Start digging. Nurse,
Oh.
you're on the second floor.
It's like,
Don't
am
matter.
I actually
Going
even
down.
on the fucking second floor right now, or am I on like the fifth floor? Holy crap.
Oh no, dude.
Oh, man. Okay, so I'm just zooming randomly into this random red roof town. Very much like DC. Red roofs everywhere. Perfect grids everywhere. Africa, top of Africa. Random places in Turkey. Ashgabat. I need to find that place he's talking about. I'm not even going to Google it. I just want to go and see if I can find it. It was like Ani. It was on the border of. Oh, I can find this. I can find this. Just what a great video. I am so glad that we actually got to watch that one. Do a little bit live on stream. Maybe we do that every week. I know I had that idea, but I think maybe we do that every week. Holy shit. It's one thing to say that, okay, so a lot of this stuff might have been, okay, it was recently built, or it was destroyed in a cataclysmic event or something. But man, there's just it's kind of looking like this shit was more than everywhere, and it's starting to appear like some of this stuff might be falling through the cracks a fair bit, right? I mean, it's starting to feel a little bit too silly. If you want my opinion here. Because there is just too much. There's just way too much. It's like truly for every single person that there is an example of architecture that is carrying an incredulous story behind it. Beyond incredulous. It's carrying one of the most insulting lies that you're being fed just by passively accepting that it is for sure that what you're told is truth and what you're being taught about history is fact. I'm not going to make a claim and say it was aliens. I'm not going to make a claim and say it was giants. I'm just going to say maybe prove that we can do something similar like this now. Maybe prove that it's fucking remotely close to possible like it was. But it's not. And it can't be proven. I personally think that if they told you the truth, or if you found the truth, you'd find that, yes, the Bible is true. We are from the people of the Bible, and it happened maybe a little bit sooner than y'all thought it was. Because the best way to lie to somebody is to tell them they are something, on something, going somewhere. And all you got to do is make sure that's not right. Tell them their name is who they are. Tell them that they are atomized. Tell them that they are not a part of one. Tell them that these cultures are separate. Tell them there's no way that it could have been something other than just lost human ingenuity. Like, that can't be the answer to all of it going missing and all of it being, it can't just be, well, everybody was really smart and then they stopped it. They all just at different times, different cataclysms caused different whole populations to just forget the building style that seems to have been shared by the fucking entirety of humanity at the time. It's not up to me to prove it. This is more Great Wall of Africa shit here, dude. Oh no. Oh no. Fuck. How? So how do we get to Africa from Turkey? No, dude, I didn't want to find this. Ugh! You have got to be fucking kidding. Oh. I think this is actually going to have to be a moment where I do step out for a cigarette here. I need help. I need help. I need help, Sauce. Please. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, so hold on. I just want to go to my OBS and hit the BRB screen, have a cigarette, and I'll be right back. Oh, jeepers creepers, folks. Welcome back.
Yo.
Oh man, I just didn't want to fucking admit it, but here we are again. Got the Great Wall of Africa in this place. Like, can we just not find more? Please? It's literally right there. It's the same thing. And the kicker is that we are so many miles from Africa. The kicker is that we're not just so far from Africa. We gotta go all the way through Egypt. We gotta go through Israel. We gotta go through Syria. We gotta go through Jordan. We gotta go through Libya. It's just... it's like 2,000 miles, and we're not even counting, like, curvature.
How do you eat a whale?
A little bit at a time.
Ass first.
Ass first. Yep, that's what it tastes like. That's fucking what it feels like. Just...
I'm in a weird mood now. I'm sorry.
You're right. I mean, I can't... You're not wrong at all. That's just bullshit. No! Because this thing is the exact type that we saw. This is the exact type of wall that I said it was. So it's shit like this that is literally the floor of Africa. You're welcome. How do you bookend a video perfectly and not know it like that? Holy shit sauce.
Shit's up.
Look at this. Same thing. You got these like really weird carved cutouts? No.
Looks like they had a pentagon.
Where? This thing?
Oh no, it was earlier.
I'm looking.
Saw like a pentagon shape. You already pointed at it a while back.
I'm floored. I'm floored. I didn't want to find that. Son of a bitch. That's why I look at these areas where there's like excavation and shit. And in somewhere like Africa, I don't really I'm not going to question it all too much because it's top of the mountain. Maybe it's erosion. Some of these pathways definitely are... Oh, no, there's just more Great Wall Africa. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, no, it is. It does suggest what I am implying. That the underground society that they have here in Turkey is the same one that was underground Africa. Son of a bitch, I was right again. Let me guess, this whole wall, yep, okay. The whole wall of this whole mountain, yep, okay. Fuck. Cool. Let me guess, the entire underneath this city, yep. Excavated. Okay, well, that's fucking awesome. This is why I have a separate project called Starfort Graves, aka landfills, because then you get shit where it's not as not as jagged. No, it's called Terra Nova and it's in Poland. I know it's a real thing. I know it's a real thing, mate. It's these giant fucking thingies that just exist in the middle of nowhere. It's the cover-up spots. You can see them from fucking space. You're not going to be able to see them with all that shit in the way, unfortunately. There we go, right here. Look how easy that was from space. You see these giant white specks? Well, if they didn't look like Starfort corners, I wouldn't really care. But they do.
Looks like a CPU. The pins of a CPU.
These are huge. These are fucking enormous.
Yeah, I see those.
Can't miss them. They're literally, and when I say like, oh well, they must have stopped like here, you know, they might plan on expanding it or whatever. Well, that just suggests that the whole mountain is one again. Again. It's not even, they're not even trying to hide that they're cutting like a very specific shape. I hate that. I hate it so much. Oh, that's just a part of the mountain that's chunkified. What is... I'm sorry, hold the phone. Are we glitching out here? This looks like a fucking Elden Ring map. Data attribution, 90%. Load it. So this was a mountain. So frustrating. Because then you'll see weird shit like this where it's like, okay, so why is that golf course the exact same shape mirrored but a landfill? It's like a pair of lungs. Like, one has to be... Because if it was two landfills, you'd start to wonder why it looks like that. And then it's like, well, why over here is it, like, still mirrored? Like, why is... Oy, 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 oy. And it's right by Cologne, too. Cologne's beautiful. Ah, man, yeah, that's got my head spun up. I'm a top now. I'm a complete top. I'm really hoping that this Great Wall doesn't just go through like the foot of Italy. How can I check that actually? How can I really just like double check real quick to make sure that I'm not just gonna go fucking insane? Because like if I find that the internet cable line underneath runs the same plane, I'm just gonna start I'm gonna start throwing it. Okay, thank goodness it doesn't cradle the boot of Italy perfectly. Thank goodness. Okay. I was gonna say there's no way it's gonna be a straight line, right? Like we're not gonna have like a perfect coincidence. Thank goodness. It's just going to do the more complicated thing and weave through every country in between. Fucking yes. So if that's on the complete eastern side of Turkey, you're telling me that all that underground shit just happens to be really far from the most famous underground city. Oh, fuck off. Okay, so these little pictures over here are better judges of like what we're actually supposed to be looking at. So according to people that have been there and whatever's going on, this is what the underground of this city looks like during Kuyu or whatever. Those buildings look a little similar to stuff we were looking at earlier. Real similar. So damned similar. Just, these people were so emphatic about their buildings. So all of the above ground stuff there. You've got this, I want to say that's probably in a church. If it's not, that'd be insane. Here's more underground tunneling. Now, I'm not going to get my numbers wrong on this. They make it look really rudimentary, right? Like, they do a really good job of that. But it's allegedly supposed to be like this.
Hmm.
And I just don't know. I don't know if I buy that it's just this place that looks like that. Because interesting enough, it shows that it's completely just water underneath, as if it's a floating disc on a lake. So, Cappadocia is another name for this place. So we're meant to believe that this haphazardry going on in this picture here is just confined to this one city, when we've seen that this all the way over to the east, all the way in Africa, it looks exactly the same. Wow. Just incredible, dude. So yeah, that's Cappadocia. And it's really interesting that like if you scrape all these like sandy mounds away, you do just sort of get these perfect grids. And it's only when you go above the ground level do you get mountains.
Sounds about right.
But then you can go to places like that cobblestone desert we were looking at earlier, and the straight lines will travel mountain ranges. But in Turkey here, the circles seem to form in and around, actual mountains and stuff. Just weird. It's just really weird. And like we already know that there's like an underground city in New York with the sewers and shit. Like I've seen enough Rat People documentaries. And then you got this giant white sand dunes thing. Don't even know what's up with that, other than my brightness settings killing me. Got another red roof city really close to it, huddled at the bottom of a mountain. Please tell me I'm not going to find more of the wall. Please. No, we're just going to find the little things at the tops of hills. Okay. That's fine. Damn, dude. So he followed that same train of thought about Northern Africa and about all those ruins and stuff. I definitely wouldn't have ended up in Turkey, but apparently if I would have just continued with the wall, I would have. That's insane, dude. That's so wild. And then you have things like the Suez Canal, where it's like what, the 1850s or whatever. And then like the buildings that they're saying that they built in America in the 1850s are just, like the wildly different feats of engineering and architecture that we can achieve in like similar or, even the same period of time. It's just fucking insane. I mean, it really is. Like if you pick it apart, like they say, you probably shouldn't pick apart the Bible because then you won't get the whole word or whatever. But architecture in the world aren't like that. There's nothing sacred about this. And if there is, I apologize, but it's got to be picked apart. 1858. Yep, really around that same time. And we can do the whole Suez fucking Canal. And like the majesty of the Suez Canal is dwarfed by the architecture of the perpendicular canal, in my opinion. Like you automatically discredit yourself when you say that was the harder part. Why is no one talking about this fucking monolith? Is this part of the Suez Canal, this amazing giant river that's perfectly spaced all the way through Egypt several times? No, we built the straight line. At least they're sticking to like some bullshit that I can believe. Yeah, we're only saying we built the straight one, dude. We're not trying to fucking sell you a bridge. So this canal that goes along the edge of the coast so perfectly in 1856 connects to this, which clearly they had the hindsight enough to... Again, like the Suez Canal at that point, I'm just like, who the fuck is even talking about that one? Look at this son of a bitch. All the way across. Because, in my opinion, between 1858, 1856 or whatever, and now, I still find that fucking unbelievable to build. Unbelievable. This is a new one. This is actually very new. Just found this one recently. We got a lovely, lovely Starfort Ravelin shape here. We have a lovely, lovely, lovely... apparently it's not a Turkish castle. Apparently it's not an African castle. Apparently it's not an Indian castle shape. Apparently it's just the like the prehistory castle shape. But then you have your amphitheaters. You have your perfect... This would have been a helipad. They could have fucking got away... They could have got away with calling that a helipad if it wasn't cut through. Because they would have done that. They absolutely would have done that. It has a fucking square in the middle of it and everything. I've seen this fucking story, but I've read this book before. I know this shit. And so I saw this, and I saw all the... Yep, that would have been a church. Yep. All the roads and the building and all the established everything around this. And what's even crazier about something like this, right, is that it's literally in the wasteland of a fucking nothing part of this country. Don't look at these really odd, plus sign shapes that just happen to be just like perfectly just chilling there. I don't know what's up about those either. I'm just saying don't pay attention to them because I'm talking about this. This is like what archaeologists like try to fuck it. Like this is where... Did you just find out that this was at the end of all this shit that you built, or did you start here? Because it's like, okay, well, maybe they were building all this stuff, getting all this green shit laid down, making weird cuts over here for a fucking reason. And then they get here and they were like, oh, but this is the only part that has actual, like, old buildings on it. We gotta stop, and we gotta fucking preserve it. I'm not gonna buy that because there's a literal perfect canal right here. And it's got your lovely little prehistory castle shape cutouts all along these canals. So what the fuck? What the fuck, Peggy? This thing right here, clearly attached to the rest of this city. So why in Egypt is there a Roman Colosseum, Roman amphitheater? I thought it was the Romans. I don't know, man. This has always been the most interesting part of this geography to me, because this to me looks like the umbilicus of some shit. And I don't remember which biblical figure it was with like the basket in the Nile or something. Was that Moses?
What basket?
Wasn't there a baby pushed down a river in the Bible?
Are you talking about like the Emperor's New Groove?
No. I mean, it could have been a fucking fictional kid's baby in the Nile.
That used to be a common thing.
Moses.
Like,
Yeah, that was Moses.
what?
Is sometimes called Moses in the bulrushes. Chapter 2 of the book of Exodus in the Hebrew Bible, finding the river Nile. Moses is a baby by the daughter of the daughter of Pharaoh. Okay, so I'm not making that up. So when I see the literal umbilical cord and the umbilicus of Africa here, and then I see this kind of shit where it's like you don't even got to look at the fucking Turkish farms and the Turkish farmland that's like kind of not being used. Look at Egypt. Look at this. Just how did, for who? For who? How many people? This little airport on this little square, in this little star fort, in this little structure, like, again, no, fucking, no. Nope. Nope. Can't believe it. I just can't. I don't know, man. This thing right here, just this whole air, and then it starts over here. And then again, you get this crazy Kamehameha blast looking area, perfectly straight. I wonder if it's as long and straight in this direction, 28.7, as it is in this direction. It's actually very close. Holy shit, that's not even funny. Oh yeah, that's 30 that way. That's right around where it bends, 30. 29. Yeah, it's actually almost a perfect square. It's like a perfect cross. That is so weird. So you think that when they built this secondary canal, you know, and then the Suez one, they were just like, yeah, 30 miles is about, you know, standard length before you got to make it go woo. I would love to teach history as like this version of me. That would be so fun. Like, teacher, calm down. Take your beta blocker. Your blood pressure's getting too high. Like, I know, shut up. Teacher, we gotta get through this for the test. Fuck the test. This is bullshit. We're gonna learn to question the test, class. That's what we're gonna do today.
There you go.
You know, like, there's just sand and nothing around this giant, perfect circle thing. So it's like, okay, is it really a boat? Like, is it really like a port for boats? And also, if it is a port, why is there another fucking canal perfectly lining the thing? That's the shit I can't buy, Sauce. That's the shit I can't do. Like, if you zoom out and you see the big thing, you go, well, you know, I could totally willing to accept that, oh, well, you know, they built this big thing on purpose. I stop being willing to accept it when you get these curves and they connect to a perfect canal that lines it and makes like this awesome angle and then does the mirror on the opposite side. And then it just so happens that actually turns into a perfect grid that they were already planning to make a city on. I can't do it, man. I don't think I can do it. Gun to my head, I couldn't believe it. This is why I say the Bible and the miracles in the Bible are way easier to believe. Because it's the word, number one. It's in the Bible, number one. But, like, I'm not being asked to believe, yeah, dude, we got real rowdy in the 1850s and just built civilization. I genuinely believe 4 people came out of a furnace untouched. Because this shit, this is unreal. Because you get these canals on these canals on these canals on these water treatment areas on these canals, and you just there's no feasible way to square that circle. Like, you got to make some real extravagant leaps. Because what one side of this canaling is going to be just so perfectly green, untouched. The other side's it's just gonna be a fucking wasteland, and we're gonna carry that pattern all the way through. And you say, well, they had to be on one side of the canal to dig, so they just had to make sure this side was clear so they could dig. What about this side? What about the other fucking side of the canal? Like the parts where the canal goes woo. No, just can't buy it. And then also, what about the literal thousands of feet, kilometers, whatever unit of canaling that's branching from it? Just what? I'm trying to beat up a straw man. Like, I'm trying to build any straw man against my own argument, because like I know that there's a devil's advocate position for this out there somewhere. It's fucking unbelievable. This thing here goes out to this. Like, that already existed. They look more like neurotransmitters than like our great-great-grandparents. All these perfect wheels of crops and stuff for who? Just a lot of like really perfectly, aren't you kind of glad you were born on the part of the Egypt forest that has parallel lines? What a spawn. It's like, okay, so Egypt's been around longer, so they've had more time to do it. But the prescribed historical narrative also wants you to believe that we were more primitive and did shit quicker back then. So it's like, by that nature, I guess the only way these canals would make sense is if we were just like really fucking good a long ass time ago. But then I can't bite on that. I can't eat that candy bar, dog. I'm allergic to that bullshit. Got more underground archaeology. Great, awesome. Star Fort raveling shapes. Just, yeah, so basically it was all connected. Oh, look, it's the double lung shape. They would have made the fucking golf course out of this. I love the double lung shape. The little butterfly wings. Huh, it looks exactly like the one we saw with the golf course in the landfill. Because that's everywhere, and I don't know what that is. I hope I didn't find another concentration camp by accident by zooming into that. I might have. Sort of gives me that vibe. See, like, this is what the river looks like. This is what the sides of the river look like. And even that, there's like this nice little walking path. Maybe it's a road. Kind of washed away a little. This is just the river. But damn, dog, they were real fucking ambitious with these canals, dog. Like, they were going, like, these Egyptians had nothing to do but dig. That was that was the pastime. And if there was like a giant apocalyptic nuke that could make it so that we can't tell there's even evidence of a connected civilization on the surface, then it makes sense why they were so concerned about digging. Look at the Star Fort. Boom! Found one. They'll call it a power station, so you can't go there. Hey man, all they had to do was not keep the shape of the Star Fort in the fence. But I can tell why, because there's underground buildings right outside. So they had to make sure that they kept all those. Just you wait, the fucking government of Egypt one day, when everybody's fucking panicking, be like, oh, we need to get in the bunkers. They'll be like, oh, we get in these underground civilizations. We've been hiding from you for fucking ever. Blowing me away, man. And like this power station here, it's already bigger than the size of this whole city of Ukla. And then this like dirt patch here behind here where nobody's fucking digging. No one's archaeologically-ing. They're just chilling in their homes. And a city of equivalent size, actually bigger, is right next to them. They could be digging. Insane. There's a cemetery here. You're not allowed to go there. You're not allowed to dig there because there's a cemetery there. It's like the mounds of where you're not, the mounds of where there's nothing are kind of like the actual computer, but where the cemeteries are, they're always these like longer shapes. So it's like, this is where the charger fits. This is where the charger goes in the box. This is where the underground society goes, and this is the cutout for the charger and what powers it. Do you think they built that canal like before the city? Because again, like these people were just digging, dog.
I'm sure the canal is a result of how big the city got afterwards. Like the canal was probably built and expanded upon, and therefore expanding the city.
It's a really good thing they were by another couple of canals just in case they forgot how to do it. So yeah, the buildings in Egypt are never gonna ever be the focal point, I think, for me. Like, I don't give a fuck about the pyramids when, like, the green part. Yeah, just I think that's gonna be my line for Egypt.
I'm not buying it.
I won't. I actually won't. I listen to Asmongold when he says shit like, you know, people that say the earth is flat, categorically you shouldn't take what they say seriously. I don't know, dude. I don't buy that argument. It's like someone said the trans thing one time and they were just like, well, just because it's never been proven before doesn't mean that, you know, you should think that it's that way because we already know that it's not true. And it's like, well, history is not biology at all. And when it comes to geoglyphs and movement of materials and stuff is when you, like, yeah, it's very believable that your blood is carrying the hemoglobin molecules to your tissues. It's very believable that it's doing that. It's really not believable that this much land was able to be excavated. I mean, it's a good thing there was a desert to put it in. But that's a lot of fucking digging, dude. It's just, that's like a lot of digging, man. Like, I'm not going to say I think it is. I like that the way he says it because it's like if you think that it is flat, it's like you probably an unserious person. Probably don't take what they're. Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm not convinced it's flat either. Because, like, I'm just not convinced. There's nothing I can be convinced of at this point. Like, I just kind of want people to start talking. It's the whole, like, yeah, call me whatever you want, but can we fucking talk about the point? Yeah, whatever. I pissed you off. Yeah, whatever. The pyramids are built by whoever you think it was built by. But can we at least acknowledge the fact that this is fucking nuts right here? Like, next door, though? Like, all that?
Yeah.
Like we can fucking debate all we want about this. Where are they? Yeah, I don't even have them listed as star forts because I'm that unfucking interested in them. I know where they are. I don't even fucking need they're in Egypt. We're worried about this, right? We're bitching and fucking moaning and complaining, and we've even broadened our scope to bitch and complain and argue about the sand that's and what's underneath the sand of it, which I gotta say is good. That's progress. Like, let's fucking do that. Yes, let's go. But
one guy that's in the way.
But
funny enough,
you can't tell me that this shit is believable. Even if I say fine, you're right. The pharaoh and his dental floss dragged these limestones up the hill with the help of some slaves. Fine. But who the fuck dug all this? Was it there before the pharaoh? Was it there after the pharaoh? Clearly you'd want to build where it's fertile first. Why didn't he build closer to the fucking ocean? None of it makes sense. Like, literally none of it will make sense. Like, anytime anyone ever says anything about the pyramids anymore, just ask them, like, if they've ever seen north of it. You ever see that part, though? Where it's like, fucking, no. I love the cities around here, too, because I've looked at the historical imagery of it. This new Cairo city is a new construction. But these grid lines were there. So, yeah, we can build large swaths of flat shit. It's like I can zoom in and I can start to see like some of these grids that they're finding and whatever. Okay, but that's understandable. We should be able to build more than just like these dirt mounds for being as advanced as we are. So that's what, 830 feet? All right, cool. We're not even going to talk about the fact that there's actually a fucking star city on the other side of it. We don't have to go into that. We don't have to break down that there's this giant actual monolithic structure of a star city right here. Let's focus on the fucking the 8-sided squares on the other side of the river. Let's bitch about the piles of rocks that make triangles. Let's do that. Let's fucking grit our teeth and try to prove each other wrong on something that doesn't fucking equate to a sand mound on a beach. Let's do that. Let's divide ourselves amongst the historical community and say, the pyramids are really what's fucking worth bitching about. Let's just start deviating. Let's move our eyes to the left. Let's move our eyes to the fucking right. No one will say a thing about a star fort because they'll just go, what's that? Good. I hope they do. Bring it up. Mention it to them. Time to fucking learn.
Preach. I sent you a time-stamped video of one of the more recent Y files, but it just shows there's like one dude that's in the way that has been the thorn in our side as far as just getting the Band-Aid ripped off to figure out what's underneath the pyramids. You'll see.
Everything just for sharing data he collected legally with the help of the Egyptian government. But Zahi Hawass wanted to make an example of him. He wanted to make sure no one else tried to expose their secrets. But Cartier wasn't the only one. If you find something in Egypt that challenges the official timeline, you don't get a Nobel Prize. You get banned. In 1993, German engineer Rudolf Gatenbrink sent a robot up a narrow shaft in the Great Pyramid. He found something nobody expected, a limestone door with copper handles. He made the mistake of telling the world.
Yep.
Hawass immediately banned him.
Yeah, maybe I should just like fucking delete this stream so no one sees my fucking Africa wall.
And the credit.
And he was the one Zahi supposedly discovered it, but he's discovered everything.
I discovered. Now.
Give it a few more minutes. Yeah, this part.
about what I discovered in the stone that I discovered. I want to show the whole world what I discovered, and I discovered major important things.
Are they online?
No, in my book, Giza and the Pyramids. In my book, Giza and the Pyramids.
It happened again in April 2008, the same month that Cordier was scanning at Hawara.
That was kind of a funny
researcher
edit.
Andrew Collins was at Giza.
Yeah. Fuck that smarmy piece
He
of
followed
shit. Let
old
us
notes to the
fucking
tomb of the
figure out
birds.
humanity, please.
Collins found a crack in the rock.
Oh, so that was the guy that was doing the robot probe?
No, that's the guy that is stopping
That
everyone
banned him.
and
Leading to a massive
yeah,
chamber.
and then claiming
He and
all
his
of these things that he discovered himself, when in fact he's
Oh, so one guy can definitely do all that. Got it.
He made it several hundred yards into a system heading toward the second pyramid. They found carved rooms and passageways.
he's just a piece of shit taking
Collins
credit for
reported
other
it.
people's work.
Big mistake. Hawass said the caves didn't exist. Collins was banned from the site. A few months later,
What's the quote? It's like any archaic technology is it's like any archaic technology is indistinguishable from magic or something. Like if you only have so much of like the archaic technology, it's indistinguishable from magic. It's like, yeah, that's kind of the fucking point.
Hawass was filmed entering the same caves.
Rules for thee, but not for Zahi. You see what I did there?
That's gonna be like that double standard. I'm gonna teach my children to say no
Hawass
to
called
that double
exploring the
standard
caves
in
an
life.
incredible experience, but nobody else would have that experience. In 2010, a metal gate was installed over the entrance. No further exploration is allowed.
Yeah, it's people like this guy that are like CIA patsies. Like they find it and then they say, "Remember JFK? Shut up."
Yes, you have to make a study. You have to research it. You have to decide as a scientist, when can you do it? And when can you
Yeah, he's a brown Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's just feeding you the fucking prescribed historical narrative and saying, well,
Do you hear what?
that we can.
Yeah, come on. I mean, look, we sent rockets. We sent rockets to the. Hang on, don't.
Did you hear the shit they were saying?
In 2010, a metal gate was installed over the entrance. No further exploration is allowed.
You cannot just go in directly like this. You have to make a study. You have to research it. You have to decide as a scientist, when can you do it? And when we can use it,
Been 9 years.
we do that, we can.
Yeah, come on. I mean, look, we sent rockets. We sent rockets to the. Hang on, don't.
Why give you permission to drink of nonsense? What you believe, it's not.
yeah, no, this dude's a piece of shit.
Yeah, just stonewalling.
This dude's a horrible piece of shit. Because again, don't worry about this giant citadel that connects to the city that people dwell in, that also connects to this fucking monolithic wall that connects to another one that's also insanely beautiful and still in fucking tact, not in tatters like these fucking dirt piles. I mean, and it's people like that too that keep fucking ginning up, like they're like, and here's the thing, like a person like that, I bet you would, like in theory, they would love it if nobody fucking questioned what goes on at Giza anymore and says, fine, dude, fuck it, you're right, all right, it's boring. Like, okay, fine, you won't let us, okay, then we'll go to the other side of town and fucking look at the other dirt piles that are still intact. Well, no, I have to find out about that. Dude wouldn't be a fucking Giza expert in that minute at all. Dude would just be the roadblock and it would be obvious. Because this is, I'm telling you, this is the petulant child stuff. This is the kind of shit that we're like, yeah, that's big enough and weird enough that if we just leave it, they'll just say like, oh, that's strange. But turns out fucking star forts can be in the shape of a square. Or they can just be in the shape of like Amsterdam or this place. Yeah, no, like they built cities on these massive archaeological things. And then they'll do the typical, well, this government property, you can't be trespassing or whatever. That's just, everyone's got to start fucking digging, dude. Everyone grab your shovel. Like, just start digging. Because you're going to hit something. Look at this. Like, this whole wall, I don't even know where it started. So yeah, this Great Wall of Africa, I guarantee you will connect to this city at one point. I guarantee you. And we're gonna fucking get lost. Like, this is actual, like, the wall of Game of Thrones. This is actual, like, this magnitude. And if you just keep following it, are we gonna say anything? Like, okay, you guys can have the pyramids. I'm done with them. I'm on this. Peggy. Because it doesn't stop. It continues on the other side of that construction. And then it just continues on. And then it becomes the city gates, which just happens to be a mosque that's built into the wall. And we're not talking about that. I'm just zooming out for a sec because I want to see where are the fucking pyramids? Where are these dirt piles? Where are they? I want to see if on... It's actually easier to see that mosque than it is to see the Great Pyramids. It was like 8:30. It's supposed to be some fucking perfect divine number. I don't give a fuck about your dirt. But then you get this fucking mosque up here. 400 some. What do you think it is about the pyramids, though? Like, what do you think, like, it's got people glued to it? You think it's just a shape?
I mean, the mystery of how they were constructed.
But, like, why just those?
It's not just those, but it's also because it's protected and they don't let people in. And there's, like, apparently, like, I don't know, there was more in that video explaining about how they used some kind of technology to penetrate through the earth.
LiDAR.
Yeah, but it like, they found more than just those granite pillars. There's a labyrinth apparently underneath. So yeah.
The bottom level stretched 300 feet long and 120 feet wide. Every level converged on this space. And at the center of the hall was a freestanding object. It measured about 130 feet long. But here's where the story gets crazy. The radar return signal changed. It wasn't reflecting off stone. It wasn't wood or mud brick. The signature was metallic.
What did I say? Was it copper?
A solid metal object the size of the Statue
Granite
of Liberty,
is
buried 100 feet
conductive.
underground, shaped like an upright disc or...
I know the Y files is kind of like, you know, a mix between, like, you know, real and not. Is this bullshit?
ring. Akers said the material
This
signature...
one actually leads to some really interesting conclusions that aren't, but he puts you down a little bit. Like, it doesn't just send you off to, like, freak out and, like, but, like, this does, like, get you to raise a few eyebrows, to consider some thoughts that, I don't know, they just, people that are in charge are stopping progression for some reason or another. And
Yeah,
like,
it's the truth. Whatever it is the truth.
right.
See, I guess maybe the reason, like, the pyramids, it's kind of like the Bible. It's just like, oh well, like, yeah, I've seen Goku get burned 1,000,000 times. That dude walked out of the furnace. Like, okay. Maybe there's just a little bit of that where I'm just like, oh yeah, you mean the smaller version of the fucking unbelievable thing? I'm not trying to be like, well, actually, I'm not trying to be like a Reddit, my dick is biggerer, but it's sort of like, I can show you an example. I've shown you before. I'm going to show stream. I can show you an example of what he's talking about and what you'd probably find. So you got the Great Pyramids there. Then we're going to go to India. Everybody get your gas masks on. We're going to India. It's the Kalisa Temple. I try to make sure that I put exclamation points before things that I'm just like, this just swath of land is fucking curious. And this, like, mountain range here, the reason we're going to zoom out and check this is because it has got some wonderful, wonderful cuts out of this mountain, some really crazy fucking shit. We are looking at, a total of 5-mile crater here. We're looking at a mountain range that's about 10 miles long. And we're going to go and put the little guy down on maybe what you might find under like a pyramid or something, if this is what they're talking about. Really not sure what we're looking at yet, are we? Oh, damn, it took me inside. Oh, shit, it took me to the more ornate fucking part that I didn't want to start with this. Shit. Look at that fucking metal door they threw on this. Insulting. Yeah, this was actually an original installation with all the cracks in the air and stuff. All the water oh, that's disgusting. Get that shit. That might be closer to an original for sure. I need to get out of that because it's like, where are we, right? Like, how did you go inside if you just clicked on like a mountain? Like, what? Where are we then? I actually kind of don't know, guys. I actually just kind of don't know. This is just the side of a mountain in India. Now, I don't know what the materials are, granite or something. Like, obviously, there's something modern going on there or whatever. But we got this crazy underground shit from the parts that have no ceiling to it. You got these crazy above ground shots where just it's way more than just the mountain. Ellora Caves. Oh, that's beautiful. You guys can see the difference between the modern and the old. Look at the tiny little holes. Wonder what was going through those. Like, I really do. This place is just, I don't know what the fuck it is at all. There's an elephant. I don't have a clue what this place is because this was not put here. This was not dug out in a rectangle and then moved in here. No, actually, like, this whole temple was carved from the whole place. And if you don't believe me, then you can take a look at this. So how many people were native in the world at the time something like this could have even been built? Trick question. Couldn't have been built. I don't even know what to make of that because it's not just that corner of it. You can see these other cutouts of it. So this thing is massive. Whatever this tribute to whatever the fuck this is. I bet we could probably see something like that under the pyramids. Like, I bet that's probably what they're talking about. Now, I don't know what figures it might look like or something, but again, like, isn't it a little unnecessary to make? How many people did it take to do this? How many lifetimes did it take to do this? Look at the fucking floor, dude. So when people bring up the pyramids, I just think like, what's the name of that place in India? Fuck. What's the name of that place? And then I think of this place. Because I think the pyramids are they're incredible in a lot of ways. And for one reason, they moved a lot of shit. Oh, and that also, the rest of the city, by the way, goes straight into that temple. That's cool. They had some good planning, good foresight. I hope they knew that there was a temple built under the mountain. The pyramids are a good example of how, they justify us being able to like move heavy shit into places. I think this place is a good example of like, well, how did you carve that though? Fucking for realsies. Don't pull my yanking my chain. What the fuck is this? It's the Family Guy elephant penguin scene. It's like, what the fuck is this? You build mud huts and you tell me that you're gonna chisel all this shit, this immaculate shit out? Like I said, I hope you weren't birthing children. I hope. How did the men even father children? They didn't have enough time. There's just like no things I've seen that are like that beautiful when it comes to like old Indian shit. Like really just no things come close to whatever Kalisa temple is. There's a nice little prehistory fort wall looking thing. Again, very similar to the walls in the other part of Egypt. Very similar to the Great Wall. Very similar to Annie, Turkey. So again, we have civilizations from big fucking chunks of time that shouldn't exist, but they do. So crazy. And again, like, you mean to tell me that you're seeing all this immaculate wall, right? Like, you're seeing how beautiful and how ornate and like how measured some of this stuff must have been, right? Well, yeah, let's look at the thing with 4 sides and bitch about that and fucking fight about that for 2,000 years now. Ah! Why can't we do that with this? I really don't get it, because it's like, oh, well, you think it's like that's the end of it? Actually, no. Like, see this like whole ass fucking shit? See how it goes all the fucking way over here? So yeah, like I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how to get people unaddicted to the pyramids. Like, can we really... I'm simplifying it. They're 8-sided. I know they're 8-sided. But this has got at least 9 sides. At least. And a mountain. And a mountain. Same building style, by the way, up on this like top chunk as well, but I think just streaming and bitching into the microphone and just yelling and just being incredulous is about the only thing that you can do to get people unaddicted to the pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
Because like this looks like a Roman amphitheater, like you got a nice little cutout here. I don't think I've ever looked at the top of this mountain, but I'm sure if I dig into the sides of this I can find the same thing. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I'm looking at. The bottom, like the sides of forest boundaries always kind of fascinate me. Because if that whole Kalisa temple, it went for miles and miles and miles. That's not true. It went for a long fucking chunk. How much more like deep can we get into it though? Because that's really the part where it's like, oh, actually, that's fucking crazy. You're not underneath. This is not underneath either, I bet. Boy, I bet they were excited to tell the world they invented ladders for this. Because you probably needed one. Oh, come on.
Or a really, really big trampoline.
Bro. Did I tell you my my government pothole rant? Is that why you brought up trampoline?
No, but go on.
My gosh. Hold on, I think I have it on the whiteboard. Yeah, so government is basically like this. Government is when you get a pothole, you go, oh, shit, there's a hole there. We have to do something to overcome this impediment to our egress. Normally, you would think, well, it was full of something, fill it back up. Be done. No, government is when they see a pothole and they go, huh, I know a guy that actually makes trampolines. I'm going to hit him up real quick, and he's going to put a trampoline in front of it, and you can jump over it. And then a week goes by and find out, people just are jumping on the trampoline even though they don't need to get over the pothole. And they say, well, hey, this is really getting gummed up here, and people acting silly. We need to put rules, and we need to have a line, and we need to make sure that people know can use this trampoline to get over the thing. And so now you have a trampoline with rules that you gotta wait in line for to get over a fucking pothole that they could have put motherfucking cereal in for all I care. That could have cost, I don't know, $30 to fix. But no, now instead we gotta get this guy's friend who owns Trampoline Warehouse involved. And then you gotta get people to make the trampoline rules. You gotta people to put the fucking, to pave the fucking, to put gates up on the side so you don't have kids just jumping on the trampoline when you could have just fucking grounded up literal cornflakes and thrown it in the hole for me to drive over. I don't need a trampoline to get over your fucking pothole. I need you to fill a fucking pothole. That's the government. That's the fucking government. What did I do? How did I do that? What happened? I don't know what I was doing. My page disappeared. Huh. But I don't fuck with the trampoline method. I fuck with the getting over the pothole method. And so when you said trampoline, I just had to go into that.
That's funny.
I actually don't know what's happening here other than just Google saying you're not allowed to see what's there for sure. Because how did it fill in just that part? I mean, that's neat. That's definitely not. Now I definitely don't want to see what's in that part. Man, I could do this for literal days, dude.
And you have.
How many more you want to tack on? Because I'm sure me getting from that damn city in Turkey to... I got to get to Africa from Turkey, man. That's not even fun at that point. I'm gonna have to hope that some shit actually kind of connects. I'm actually hoping for some fucking, well, yeah, we built it in a year shit.
Well, I mean, how hungry for it are you? I mean,
oh, man. I just don't even think that, I'm thinking there might not even be a connection that's going to be measurable in between. I actually don't know. I'm gonna browse it for a little bit, and then I gotta probably get off and go eat and take care of life. I'm really glad that we took the end of the year streams here to just bullshit and to just fucking hang out.
Yeah, dude. This is fun, as always. Start doing some more Bible study ones here soon.
Yeah, we'll get back into the real groove next week after the new year and stuff.
Sounds good to me.
I'm glad I read through Matthew though on Christmas, because I actually didn't even know where that story was in the Bible. And it's like, it has to be in there. It's about the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think I'm in Turkey, mate. No, that is. Wrong side, though. Annie. I'm gonna end up getting this. This must be where I was recently, because all of these sort of look new. Oh yeah, I was digging around here. So yeah, now that I've seen the Great Wall of Africa and its zigzags, I look back on some of my previous discoveries and go, fuck. Well, shit. Well, actual shit. That means I gotta go probably to Europe from Africa. Fuck. That explains why the building style is literally the mix between the Star Fort, the Indian Fort, and like the American courthouse. Holy shit. And this is also in Turkey. Tobiasi is, I think it means something in regards to like castle or fort or something. So yeah, I think that guy in Egypt with the pyramids might have bitten off a little more than he could chew, because it turns out there's more than one entrance.
Or just make your own.
Yeah, and just find your own literal underground. Like everyone's got one apparently. Everyone. And if you don't, prove me wrong. Go digging. Go digging. Go prove me wrong on this. Everybody. Everybody that listens to this. Anyone that makes it through. I definitely gotta get off. I'm gonna hit the X button right now because I'm just getting sucked in again. I'm just gonna spend more hours. It's bad.
Go take care of you, sir. I'll be around.
Oh, dude. Good times as always.
Indeed.
Get rid of that shit. Put the real bye-bye music on. There we go. But yeah, dude, I'm probably actually gonna go lay down for a little bit. That sounds nice.
I'm tempted to, actually.
But yeah, good times, good chill.
Yeah, dude. Brother, man.
We'll catch
See
you
you
next
around.
time. I'll chat you. I'll be chatting with you, I'm sure.
Yeah, man.
God
her
bless you,
easy,
brother.
all right?
Yeah.
God bless.
Peace.
Peace.
We have a lot of fun here. We have a lot of fun hanging out, chit-chatting on the nurse's station. And you know, it's a good thing that we're just doing it and just having fun, streaming, chilling, hanging out. Next week, we'll be back to the Bible. Hopefully plugging through Daniel, finishing that up. Hopefully moving on to something a little bit different in that Bible. But no matter what we do, we're going to learn. We're going to stay close to Christ. Don't forget to look for zigzags in the middle of deserts. Go buy a couple shovels. Silver is now more valuable than a barrel of oil. And never forget, no matter where you go, there you are. The more you know, the less you don't. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. See you next year. Bye.